You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Series. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather around the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna miss a treat. Gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing the song to the break of dawn. Gonna rock this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Series. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather around the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the PlayStation Collectors Podcast, Season 3, Episode 37. My name is Joe Rad, as always, and joining us this evening, we have our special co-host, once again, Radical Reggie. What's going on, my man? I think you muted yourself, brother. And then it wouldn't let me unmute you.
Weird, right? There we go.
All right.
Thanks for having me again.
No problem, man. Welcome back. And our special guest this evening, returning for the second time, Mr. KAG man himself. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? I'm happy to be here. I love the show, man. That last show that you guys did with Bitmap Bureau was just like awesome, dude. I watched the whole thing.
All right on.
Dude, I was probably the most nervous I've ever actually.
I was nervous too, man. I was like, dude, man. I was like, man, prepping for that and making sure everything was good. Whew.
Yeah.
I'm very much on the consumer end of things. So when someone's like actually in the industry, I'm like, so like to me, like this is so. As far as I understand how video games work, like you used to put the quarter in the machine and little magical elves would come and they would make it all work and little lights would play. Like that's about as so like when people really know what they're talking about, I'm always like, I don't know, but but it's fun as a fan to talk to somebody who made something you like. That's cool. It's like meeting a musician or something. It's cool.
Dude, that Xeno Crisis, and this is thanks to Reggie, actually, is like one of my all-time favorite games. It's like up there with Super Punch-Out. And I own Xeno Crisis on everything. And now I finally could purchase it on Super Nintendo. I was getting annoyed that the store was closed. I was like, I'm trying to buy and give you money, and you guys are not opening the store.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to get a copy for Super Nintendo too. That one channel that does the Super Nintendo versus Sega, they're actually doing an episode on Xeno Crisis, which I'm actually looking forward to. I forgot what they're called. Top of my head right now. Maybe somebody in the chat will let us know. But they're going to do a little comparison here pretty soon, which I'm excited to see
awesome.
for that game. Yeah, I know,
like
right?
Good old days.
So, yeah,
all they have to do is figure out how to put it on NES, and then I'll be like, what? Like, you guys managed to do that?
They are thinking about it, I think. And that's what he said in the video the other day. He said they might do it. That would be the last, like the least system they put it on, like with the least bits, or unless you want to put it on Tiger handheld.
Yeah.
You know, you can go that. But I'm looking forward to an Amiga CD copy because that one would be so weird to have. And I have an Amiga 32 CD, so I'll definitely pick that up.
Look at that.
Yeah, man. But,
yeah, my two other jokes that we didn't make it in there is I was going to make the Xeno Crisis water game where you shoot the little rings up on the thing.
Oh, the water games.
Yeah. I was going to make a Xeno Crisis. And then I was going to make Xeno Crisis Light Bright.
Oh, man.
That's crazy, man.
You put little dots in it, you make your own game.
KAG, I think I was telling him on that stream too, man. Like, cause we brought up Final Vendetta too.
Yeah.
And, we were talking about like Lisa. I don't remember if because you played Turtles with us that night too. And I remember we played Final Vendetta. And I don't know if it was just me that didn't like Final Vendetta at first because I played it right after
me too.
Turtles. You too. Yeah. Okay. I think I didn't mention that. And then I came to realize I got there just playing that game without playing Turtles first. You know, I kind of judge it fairly, and I was like, man,
Yeah.
I actually like this a little bit better. Like, dude, this is good.
I really enjoy Final Vendetta now.
Yeah.
I've completely beat the game with all 3 characters. I've done everything I need to do. It's 2 trophies I need left on PlayStation, and that's to beat the casino, the nightclub, and the manor, and get an S ranking. So I've been trying to do it, and I found out, and when I'm a little annoyed with Bitmap Bureau because of this, is I can make it through those levels without dying at all, right?
Mhm.
But if you get knocked down, it takes away points. So you can only get knocked down twice through the whole level.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
if you
that's
get
right.
knocked down more than twice, you will not get an S ranking, you'll get an
Ranking.
A ranking. And it's almost impossible. It's so hard. Now, people have done it. I've seen videos where people have done it, and they're amazing because you're better than me. Because, like, the last level, you fight the boss, he has 2 different transitions. The first transition, he's easy, and then he turns into, like, this robot, and he kind of, like, teleports all over the place. And it's almost impossible not to get knocked down at least a few times against him. Like, I can't figure it out. So I want that platinum, man. But those 2 trophies are
Would it be easy to get with 2 players?
It could be. Now, see, I ran through it 2 players and got that trophy with my daughter. So I need someone that can actually play the game. Now, my daughter, she can play. I'm not saying she can't, but she's not that type. She like beat 'em ups isn't her thing. You know, she like if it was some type of like farm sim game, she'd be all into it. But I think so. If I had 2 players and then I had somebody like taking all the heat, I'd be okay. But I need somebody
That's
like
what you need.
that's
Yeah,
actually
you
good
need
enough. Yeah.
You need a meat shield on
Yeah.
game itself.
Yep.
For
Yep.
real.
There's
Mhm.
only 2 trophies I need, man. But I as I told Reggie, I'll show you here. I picked it up, collector's edition. Right,
Nice, dude.
Nice.
dude. This game it's good, man. And you're right. We had jaded eyes when we played Turtles.
So I mean, you're talking about two very different design philosophies coming out is for the same style of game. Like the
Yep.
Yeah.
Turtles is so modernized and just comfy and easy and like smooth and buttery and like I don't know. It's not like the Final Vendetta has that older, like more purposeful positioning you have to always have, like less forgiving. It's not forgiving at all. It's got that old just like in the old games, they wanted you to put quarters in their machines, so they were a little more brutal, and you could do it, but it was really, really important to understand all the mechanics and the timing and the skills and like the grouping of the enemies and kiting things, and like you couldn't just, I don't know. Shredder's Revenge is like you can mash buttons. Like anybody can sit down and play that and have a good time. It's just a different experience. So
Final Vendetta is what you would consider Neo Geo hard. Because in Final Vendetta you have 4 different levels of like difficulty. I think it's casual, easy, normal, and ultra, or hard and ultra. And each level that you go to, they take away credits. So like if you're on casual, you get like 9 credits. And in easy, I think it's like 8 or 6. Then it goes to 5, and then it goes to 2. I think 2 or 1 on ultra. And the game, they did a great job, man. I can't take anything away from them. And that's the problem though. Like with any game, what I found out is if you play something and then you roll into something else. So for instance, like we were playing Street Fighter, and then we rolled into Mortal Kombat, right? And I'm gonna use that as an example. Street Fighter was so good, and it still is such an amazing game. I think it hurt everybody's opinion on Mortal Kombat rolling into Mortal Kombat 1. So I went back to Mortal Kombat 1 just recently, and it was having a really good time with it. Because I haven't played Street Fighter and I haven't had played Tekken in a long time. So my opinion on the game is totally different. But going from a game that's so much better and the style, and then going to something that's totally different, you have a negative opinion, and that's not always fair, I guess.
That's a good way of looking at it.
It makes sense, yeah. Because I felt bad judging Final Vendetta like that, but we were on such a hype train for Shredder's Revenge, and because we were really anticipating it playing all together, which we did. We 6 players all the way through that game that night. And it was just like, yeah, man, that was just one of our crazy streams. And then like we were still ready to play some more. So hey, let's try Final Vendetta, which the games came out on the same day, which was weird. And we talked about that with Bitmap Bureau. We were like, what the hell? Why didn't go out on the same day? But yeah, we unfairly judged it. But yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I don't even think that's the hardest game. I think Battle Axe is their hardest game. I don't know if you've played
Battle
that.
Axe is definitely harder out of those 3 games, man. No
I
doubt.
haven't played that one yet.
It's
you haven't played
gorgeous.
it? Oh my god, you need to pick that one
fun,
up immediately.
It's like literally, like I don't think. I mean, I think it like you have to play co-op. I don't think you can play by yourself. Like it's so freaking hard. I'm sure there's people out there that mastered it, but I don't know. I was having trouble with that one.
Yeah,
but I liked it. Xenocrisis is just overall, like you said, just one of the most solid games. Like, and I love twin stick shooters. Like I've always said, like they're my second favorite genre compared to shmups, like just regular shoot 'em ups. Like I love those the best, but then twin stick shooters are right behind. Like I absolutely love them. And you know, I know people don't like rogue like elements or whatever, but like I do. So I think that's a really fun thing about that game is even though it's like a similar experience, you can expect a unique experience each time you play it. And I think that's really fun. Yeah, like I understand both philosophies. I've been playing a lot of old NES games a lot lately too, and they're very scripted. They're very scripted of what happens and blah blah blah. And that's a lot of fun learning like the intricacies of how everything spawns and learning how to cheat and make things like spawn off the screen and disappear and all those little things you can do in NES games and like hack, stick on like pixel plant on certain blocks you're not supposed to be on. And I don't know, it's like there's a lot of like old crap, like glitchy things to those games, which is fun to learn. But it's once you do it, like I don't know, you move on real quick. Xenocrisis is like evergreen. Like you can just throw that on anytime and have a good time playing it. So I do like that.
Xenocrisis is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And what's nice is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying, thinking about pretty much all their games are like pick up and plays. I would say. I mean, they made 4 of them. I don't know how you feel about 88 Heroes. If that's a pick up and play, that one's kind of Did you? Okay. But definitely the other 3 are definitely pick up and plays, and like, dude, you can get into those games easy. I need to actually beat Battle Axe. You guys got me thinking about it now. That's the only bitmap game I haven't completed.
Oh, I tried. I got handed to me. I did not beat that game. I'll go back to it someday. But what I was going to say is one thing that's cool, kind of brings us to the topic of the show too, is that if you do want to collect Xenocrisis and on 47 different pieces of hardware, you can play it all on the Polymega.
Yeah, you can play it on the Polymega.
That's really what the Polymega is. It's actually a console designed for Xenocrisis players, so you can play your Xenocrisis collection in one spot. That's really the selling point from it.
Polymega is a now that I have it, it's a phenomenal system.
Can you just explain like a little bit like what it is, like to people who maybe don't know what it is?
Yeah, sure, for sure. So Polymega is meant for people that, like, you see I got all this physical stuff behind me. It's really meant for that type of person who has a lot of physical media but want to digitize that media and play it on a flat screen TV, right? So with the Polymega, the modules they have right now are the NES, the Genesis, Super Nintendo, N64, TurboGrafx 16, and then it plays all of the disc-based systems up to basically PS1, around the PS1 era and all of that. Amazing system. And like I said, is meant for the person who owns a physical collection but wants to put it on their new 65-inch flat screen TV easily, right? And that's what Playmagy and Polymega envisioned, and they brought it out. And it took a long time, and obviously we know with the pandemic that happened, and with them, their system was they, for whatever reason, they chose to have their system manufactured in Myanmar, which is Burma. And they went through during the manufacturing of the system, they went through a coup in Burma, which exporting of anything was on hold.
Don't you hate when that happens?
It's so much that happened with this system before it came out, but everyone has them now. Everybody that pre-ordered one has one. Everybody got them now, and then they're in stock to buy them from their system. So while we're talking about it, I got mine right here. I can show you guys. So,
I'm wondering if First Press Games is going to say there was a coup where they are.
They're at that point where they probably would say it.
That'll be the news. I'm sorry your games are late. There was a coup.
I have a story about First Press Games, and we'll get into it a little later, which is insane. But this is the Polymega right here. So what I have on here right now is my Sega Genesis module. What's up, John? John just came into the chat. What's up? So with the Polymega, there's a button on the side here, and then your module just slides off like that, right? So that's Sega Genesis right there. So this module plays Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, and 32X. It does not play Sega Master System games, but Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, and then 32X. And then this is how you can put an adapter.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you can use an adapter, a Mega Drive, a Genesis to Mega Drive adapter if you want to. You can do that, but it just won't. You can't put the game in there itself. So this is the unit without any adapter on it, and then you have your CD-based games that go right here. It's a little CD slot right there. So all your CD-based games go there, and then the adapter just slides on just like this. Boom. Now it's a Genesis. And then on the back here, you got your HDMI port, your Ethernet port, and then you have micro SD card right here, power adapter. Then on the bottom, you have an SSD right here, which I have a 4 terabyte SSD in here to store all of my games. So the Polymega it's a great system. They remodeled the controller from it looked at totally different when it originally came out, and they remodeled more to a PS4 controller. So that is the Polymega controller now. And my biggest complaint about the controller is you have to plug in this stupid dongle into the front of the system for the controller to work. Instead of it being built in natively, you have to plug this in. And if you lose this, then this ain't no good, man.
Wow.
So
that's really weird.
Yeah,
they
man,
don't have
it's crazy.
Built-in Bluetooth or anything in the system. That's very
not
odd.
for controllers. Nope. Which I don't know why they went that route. I mean, cost saving, obviously. I'm quite sure.
Yeah.
But the system is dope, man. I mean, I highly recommend it now. There is a few little issues with it. When the N64 module came out, they did an update, and that update has caused some issues with the N64 games not looking the crispest, but Polymega said that they're going to fix it. So we're just waiting on that update to come. And they acknowledged it. We said when we did that update, it kind of messed some things up. So we're trying to work in the background. Another cool thing about Polymega and Polymega is they got bought by Atari. So Atari
that's cool.
is a benefactor now of the company. And they're going to be bringing out an Atari module for the Polymega, which is coming, which is pretty dope. So I'm looking forward to that.
I feel like there's been a slight Atari resurgence lately. I don't know if I'm like if it's just me or there's been like a lot of Atari hype, and I think I've even seen Atari cartridges going up in prices, and like
they're actually selling some Atari games on Amazon right now. Like they're some a reprint of a Food Fight and another one I can't think of right now. Dude, I think it's Golf Ninja or something like that. But yeah, man, there's some kind of resurgence happening. I don't know how strong it is, but it's definitely getting some hype.
So they came out with that 2600 plus system, which plays real carts, and that's an HDMI thing. So I think like that alone kind of sparked some interest, and I don't know, it's kind of neat to see that there is some interest in the Atari. I just feel that's like for a lot of people like a bridge too far. It's too retro. It's like just like they can't like see the beauty in it, which I get it. I understand it. If you didn't grow up with Atari, it's you have to use lots of imagination.
Certain games like Food Fight, like you just mentioned, was one of my favorite back in the day. Miss Pac-Man, obviously. I mean, amazing. Everyone loves Miss Pac-Man versus Pac-Man, because Miss Pac-Man was just a step faster than regular Pac-Man. Then they added some things into there. The pole position.
Amazing.
Love pole position. I mean, I can pick that game up and play it anytime. Battle Tanks, I love that game. Centipede, love that game. All the classics, I think, is where Atari, if they focus on those, they'll be good. Now, there's a 50th, is it 50th, Reggie? 50th anniversary collection they
For
just did
Atari?
for Atari. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that thing is like loaded, man. Like seriously,
Yes.
I actually need to pick that up soon.
Yeah, I have that collection. That one's neat
Yeah.
because it's got like Jaguar games and 7800 games and a lot of like random stuff, which is kind of cool.
Well, if Atari's listening, this is all you got to do, Atari. If you want to get people invested in your old games again, just remaster. So make a compilation and remaster the really popular ones, right? Remaster those. And then like they did in a lot of remasters, how you could just hit like the select button and it would transition from the better looking to the old one.
Mhm.
You remember how they did that in
like an
quite a few
R-Type.
games? Yep.
Yeah.
Allow that to happen to where you can go from the graphics from like the 80s and 70s up to today's graphics, go back and forth, kind of give people, what we used to play versus what we play now. It gives them a better appreciation of it. And I think they'll do great with that, man, but you got to do the popular games, man. Centipede, Miss Pac-Man, Food Fight, Pole Position.
Yeah, don't start with the crappy
Battle
games
Tank.
and go up.
Yeah, just start with the stuff we like.
Yeah, because that's a mistake a lot of companies mess up with. Like a lot of Japanese companies, like I want to say, what is a good example? Like what's that collection came out? Title collection. They had the Title Memories collection that came out. They started with the weakest games.
Yeah,
the first milestone was pretty weak. I was surprised that sold at all, but they made a volume 2. But they gotta understand, you gotta make the popular games first, and then if you start a following, then you can put those crappy games on there and mix them up a bit, and get a following. But they start with crappy first. If this doesn't sell, we're not making it anymore. Like, come on.
And
now.
you know what's insane about that too is the Title Legends on PS2 is amazing.
Yeah, that is
collections
yes.
are incredible, and it's so funny how times have changed. Like back on the PS2, you would get a compilation with all of those games on it, like 50, 60 games. They were like, $20. And nowadays they're like, we'll give you 5 games, $60. That's volume 1. And then volume 2 is another 5 games. It's like, dude, it's they piecemeal it out now, and it's wild to me. Like, hands down, Title Milestones, Title Legends, excuse me, on PS1 and PS. Those are like 2 of the best compilations to pick up. Like there are shmups on there that are very expensive to buy otherwise, like G Darius and all sorts of stuff. So yeah,
they even got an arcade perfect version of that game. That oh my god, the Genesis beat 'em up looked like Indiana Jones. I forgot what it's called right now.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's like someone doing animals or something like that.
Yeah, you gotta protect the animals and everything like that. There's an arcade perfect version on the Title Legends 2, or maybe it's 1, but it's on there. A lot of people don't even know it's on there. So, it's just, man, those. That's what I talk about. That's why I was telling you guys, how I feel like the PS1, PS2 were the golden years of games because they didn't hold back on what they wanted to release. Arcade games, we'll put a bunch of those on a compilation, no problem.
Yeah.
Now they're stingy with it. I don't know. We'll maybe give you 5 games, maybe a couple downloadable ones, and then we might make volume 2. And like you already know how we feel about DLC on those type of compilations, man. Like it's not worth having the physical if you're gonna make download content to it. You want to put it, make it package complete. But a lot of these companies aren't really thinking about our interests like that anymore. They think anybody will pay. I mean, they're saying people are paying for subscription services, so if they see that, then they think they can do anything pretty much, and that's what's pretty much happened the gaming industry right now. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, especially I think we're going to talk about the whole Xbox thing too. Oh man, I was really sad to hear that, man. I was really pumped up about it. Yeah, man. I was like, dude, but then again, and no, I'm not going to say it to the end, but but I don't know, man. It just sucks.
We can talk about it now. We can talk about it. So it is devastating news too, because it's not even like these are like tiny little companies that had like these are Evil Within is amazing. 1 and 2, like I want part 3. So to hear we're not getting it now, that's depressing. And
see,
I loved Ghostwire Tokyo too. Like I was really loved that, and I wanted another one of those games too. I really enjoyed that. So that sucks, man.
Well, okay, so let's back up a little bit with the whole Xbox thing, right? So, just because the studio closed down doesn't mean we're not going to get another Hi-Fi Rush or another
Evil Within.
Evil Within. Microsoft owns the
Yeah,
IPs. If you look at what Microsoft did with Killer Instinct, 3 different studios worked on that game. Okay. And it has gotten better, progressively better each time. And right now, Killer Instinct is probably the best Killer Instinct has ever been with the 3rd company that works on it. So I can't remember. So a lot of blame is going on Microsoft. Now I look at it a totally different way. I'm be honest with you. And I think it's a whole bunch of like the outcry is ridiculous because there's been some polls on social media, on X, on YouTube and stuff by different YouTubers, right? Mm-hmm. And the simple poll was, have you ever played Hi-Fi Rush? Have you ever played Evil Within? And I think Spawn Wave did one, and he had it was like 70,000 people voted. And 60% of people never even play Hi-Fi Rush.
I never played it.
So it's like the outcry of people, I just don't think is real. It's like this echo chamber of things that people are just bandwagoning for the most part. But what I want to say about for Tango Games, right? So the Shinji, I don't want to mispronounce his name. Shinji Mikami. I'm going to be honest with you. The majority of the blame should go towards him. And the reason I say that is because when Microsoft came aboard and they bought these companies, he walked away from his team. He left his team. Anytime a leader leaves anything, it falls apart. I'm just to be honest with you. So it's the heart and soul of Tango Games, the creative mind behind what they created is no longer there. He left Microsoft and created his own studio. But he left his team, the majority of his team behind. Now, there were some murmurs that some people left or whatever the case may be. But if I'm Microsoft and I see that, and I see the guy who created these great games is no longer part of this studio, I'm going to close it and just fold everybody into the rest of the studios. Now, obviously, they did let a lot of people go, and I don't know the inner workings, but some of that, I think people need to ask him, why did you leave? What was the reason why you left? And what was the reason why you left your team behind? Because you got to take some blame for that too, man. You can't put it all on a corporation. Like, even with when you look at what's the guy? I can't remember his name right now. He was a creator of Gears of War. What's his Cliffy B? Cliffy B. He made Gears of War awesome, and thank God Gears of War has still been great. But Cliffy B made his own studio, right? And he made a game. The game didn't do too well. He refused to bring it to Microsoft. And when he left he closed the studio and let everybody go. Who's to blame for closing the studio? It was him. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on it. You know, I'm not going to cry about it because Microsoft owns the IPs. They can do whatever they want with it. We don't know what their plans are down the line. They own it. It's not like he left, they closed the studio down, and those IPs went with him. Microsoft owns those IPs, so they can do whatever they want with them. So I'm just going to sit back and wait. But I still think the question should be asked to him. Why did you leave? What happened between you and Microsoft to make you leave? Now, if Microsoft did something to make
Which is what I would expect. There's some sort of disagreement about the creative process or
right.
the amount of control you would have or the amount of input. So like one of the things that I think is hurting the video game industry as well as the movie industry, as well as the TV industry, is that there's just too many cooks in the kitchen. It's too much,
100% it is.
It's too much art by committee, and they don't let people just make the things they want to make the way they want to make them. And that's just not how you do things. Like a good manager, like you find good people and you get out of their way. You don't sit there and you tell them what to do.
And that's what happened with Shinji. When he did Resident Evil 4, you know what I mean? He was the helm of that, you know, and he's used to being like in front of the line pretty much when it comes to designing these games. And when he can't do what he wants to do, you know, he's just, I don't know, he's out. As simple as that. You know, I hear, I don't know him personally, obviously, but I just hear he's pretty stubborn when it comes to that.
If you're a real artist,
it makes sense, you know.
I've been in bands before, man, and it's like if you're in a band and no one will play your songs. Like you have to play everybody else's songs, but no one will play your songs. Fuck that band.
Yeah.
Like that's not, you know what I mean? Like if your artistic expression isn't, you can't actually like have like be a part of it and like be a part of the output. It's not fun to create art. It's not fun to be in a band just playing other people's songs. Like it's not, in my opinion.
my question is this: when it comes to Shinji, right? Between when Microsoft bought them and consumed them, right, and then from when they did the visit, when they went and down and visited him, Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer, they went and visited him. There was a 5-month window, I think it was, somewhere around there, from when they visited them to them closing down the studio. You know, so you just dropped Hi-Fi Rush in, was that last year? That was last year, right?
Maybe.
I think it was last year because it was at the Game Awards. So I think it's been out. I think they dropped it like February of last year. So it was like a year since the game had came out. And I don't know, man. I just the outcry is just weird to me because I know a lot of people have never even played the game, but they just bandwagoning on there and
That's true. Yeah, I wasn't
it's
upset
just
about Hi-Fi
weird.
Rush.
Yeah.
I said Evil
Well,
Within
yeah.
3.
Oh, not
and
you. I'm not
like,
talking about you, Joe.
I
I'm
know,
not
but
talking
I'm
about
just
you.
saying, like, it's funny. Like, you're right, though. Like, that's like a
Yeah.
thing in general. I say it's like there's a huge, you know, especially in the YouTube community, people
Yeah.
don't have an original thought in their head for the most part, and they'll just mimic the videos that other
Jump
people
on the hype
make.
train.
They'll just
Yeah.
mimic the same videos. So if this is what everybody's talking about, that's what everybody's talking about. And I'm guilty of that too. When we talk about topics for the show, it's like, well, what's everybody talking about this week?
sure.
We should talk about it too. So I understand that's like a part of the community. It is what it is. But like you
Now-
said, there's a lot of people who fake outrage, and like I hate that. It's like when we were talking about the PSN network thing with Helldivers and everything. I was like,
Mhm.
I can't pretend to be as mad as other people because I'm obviously have a PlayStation network.
Yeah,
So it has
yeah.
zero effect on my life. So I can't be like, oh my God, it's just not real. I'm not that mad. I understand why other people are, and I'm not poo-pooing it or saying you shouldn't be upset, but I'm not going to act like it's the biggest deal in the world to me.
I think that
You
one
know?
of my personal opinion, and I'll live on this rock here by myself if I have to. I think one of Microsoft's biggest problems has been they talk too much to the community. If you notice something you notice about Sony and Nintendo, they don't do that. They don't invite all these social media people into these
Nintendo,
events
the
and
opposite.
all this stuff.
Like, don't show my stuff.
Right. Like they put out their creative properties and they let it do what it's going to do. And if you look at a lot of these guys on social media, they're flip-flopping from they're talking about Xboxes, this, I'm going over to Sony and I'm just laughing at them. But you also see a lot of the influencers that were like all about Xbox talking crap about it because the Phil Spencer and all these guys, they made them feel like you're my friend. This is a corporation that's trying to make money. They're not your friend. And when you get too close and you open the doors too much, you're going to have this outcry because people feel like they can say something and make you change course in what you're going to do because they cry. Make what you're going to make, put it out there for people to enjoy, and leave it at that. If they don't like it, then they just won't buy it. You don't have to do anything else. And I think that's one of the biggest issues with Microsoft and Xbox is they want everybody to like them. You don't need anybody to like you. You just need people to like your games. So just put quality content out there and leave it at that. Because I see like the fan events and all of the stuff that they're doing and they're mingling with all the fans and stuff. And you're making these people think like, hey, I know them on a personal level. I can say what I want to say and they'll listen to me. And that's not always the case.
Yeah.
I also feel like the move to an all digital marketplace is just not good for entertainment. It's not. And and like I think the harsh reality of what Game Pass is and how much it pays out to game studios is like coming to, you know, it's coming to bear. Like, so for the last like 10 since the internet pretty much came out, there's been this huge drive of venture capitalism funding everything. Everybody's trying to, like, you know, figure out how to make the internet profitable, websites, you know, ads here, blah, blah. They've been trying it for the last 10 years. And pretty much what it's all concluded to is it's not that profitable. And all that money is like going away. And so like all of these game companies are losing money and they're not going to get cheap money and they can't get cheap loans because the interest rates are high. Like the tap is shut off. The money is shut off. And like that's just going to change the whole landscape of things and reevaluate how everything works. And you're going to see a lot more trepidation, caution from all of these studios. Let's put it that way.
I don't think so. Microsoft and Sony have the numbers, right? They know more than we do.
Mm-hmm.
We as consumers make assumptions as to what's going on, but both of those companies put out numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And last year alone on Sony's marketplace, a little over 75% of their overall sales for PlayStation were digital. On Xbox, it's close to 80% of their overall sales are digital. So as much as us, you see all the stuff behind me, I love physical. As much as we cry about it, that ain't the future, man. People really love instant access to their media. Now, it sucks because of the control, right? The control that Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo have over your content. But you also have this wave of people, a large group of people that only look at video games as entertainment. Once I'm done with the entertainment, once I'm done beating it, I'm done with it. I don't care what happens to it. It can sit there for forever. They just don't care. Same
They
thing
don't care
like
about
movies.
ownership. Yeah,
No, they don't care about ownership.
They don't look at it the same way with property.
The only way for those type of people in the newer generation to look at it seriously, like having a physical copy of games, is if something happens with digital content. Like they notice their game is missing something, or it's taken away for whatever reason. Because a lot of people don't talk about this, but they see everything you're doing when you're playing games. They look at all the data and everything. It's kind of like spying in a way.
Yep.
And they're analyzing everything you do, and if they think you're cheating, we'll just break the system, whatever, like that. Then you got to go through that. So giving them the power, when people realize that they don't have the power over their stuff anymore, that's when they'll kind of start to appreciate having physical and everything like that.
Yeah.
And
they don't realize they don't own it as much now. Now they're starting.
Not yet.
I think the last year or so, I feel like people are really waking up to the horrors of what it is more than ever.
Yeah,
I agree.
Even though it's too late, unfortunately.
Yeah, because it's now we as gamers want to cry to Microsoft and Nintendo and Sony, but guess what? It ain't them pulling physical media. Who's pulling physical media? Walmart, Target, Best Buy. They're pulling it because it's not moving. It's not moving.
Yeah, you're right. These streaming services, like when it comes to movies, it's taking over. You know what I mean? And I understand it. Like if I was a person to come up today and have a streaming service, I wouldn't even look at DVDs or physical copies and stuff. But the problem is with that stuff is that, like I said earlier, they are taking stuff out of it that was originally with it, like episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There's an episode they took down because it offended some people today. Like it offended a couple of people. So now that episode is unwatchable on a streaming service. The only way you can see it, physical media. It comes back to that type of stuff, man. I mean, these companies are trying to please everybody, but you just can't do it. But unfortunately,
it's the worst move.
Yeah,
you should never do that as a business. You should never try to please everyone. You should find your target audience and you should please them.
That's the problem Capcom's having right now. Yeah.
Do not try to please everyone. You will make everyone hate it. It's not possible. It's like if I want to write a great death metal album, I know who my audience is.
Right.
Okay. I'm not going to be like, you know what this death metal album needs? Some K-pop. I want to see if I get some K-pop fans into my death metal album. That would be cool because I could sell more albums, right? Because then I could get death metal fans and K-pop fans. But guess what? Guess what happens? No one likes it. The death metal fans are like, what the hell is this? And the K-pop fans are like, what the hell is this? Nobody likes it.
You're hitting it dead on the head because you said it right. Know your audience, right? That's the biggest problem with so many like media right now. Microsoft will use them again. Santa Nadella, I can't remember how you say his name, but he said one thing. He said we want to be everywhere. These companies want everything, because I thought what they were going to do when they bought Blizzard, Activision, Bethesda, is I thought they were going to go hard in and make exclusive all this stuff exclusive to Xbox and drive customers back into the Xbox ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what they wanted to do. Now you got the CEO of Microsoft was like, we're going to give you this blank check, but you got to pay it back. So we gave you a blank check of $70 billion initially, and then whatever billions that you bought for Bethesda, but now you got to pay it back. So they got to do it our way. And our way is through the cloud, because that's what Microsoft's biggest pot of money is the cloud. And you have to take all of these games and put them everywhere. We want money from every avenue. We want it all. That's what they're trying to do. And that's what's ruining them. Look at Disney. Same thing with Disney. You know, they're appeasing everybody. They're making these movies. They're taking stuff out of movies. They're doing all of these things trying to appease everybody. Like when you make content, movies and games, it's your expression as a developer or writer. You're expressing your creative mind. It's a creative expression. It's not meant for everybody.
Yeah.
It's not meant for everybody.
It's one of the major complaints they had about Disney and Star Wars is Disney. I mean, Star Wars was a little boys brand, and they changed it into like, let's have little boys and little girls. It's for everyone. And that now it just made all the guys go, I don't like this as much. And guess what? Turns out girls, they still don't really like Star Wars that much. There are some. There's always outliers, but it's just the truth. It's the same thing with hardcore gaming. It's like there are girls that like to play Call of Duty and like to, you know, swear with the guys and being like, but they're very few and far between. Like not, you know, go on Twitch and watch most of the female streamers and what games are they playing. Let's just be honest. Like that's, you know what I mean? And like that. You shouldn't try to like combine the same people who want to play Animal Crossing with the people who want to play Evil Within or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're not, it's okay to not try to capture both audiences. Like, that's why I love From Software. That's why I think they're like one of the best companies. Cause they go, we have an audience that likes our games and we're going to keep making games like this for our audience. And our audience is going to themselves promote our games.
Yeah.
All, you know what I mean? Like they're the Dark Souls, the fans of From Software games promote the games for them. Like the streamers, everybody, they don't have to do it because the people, their audience love it and it grows naturally. It may not be, you know, the biggest thing ever. It might not be as successful as Harry Potter or whatever. It might not sell as
but they got that targeted audience that loves that stuff. And
they don't want to have the whole they just want to make a successful game and make money, and then they want to make another successful game and make money. And they want to make it. That's it. That's like you said, Tag. They don't have this grand plan to be like, we're gonna have an online only forever store and everyone will be paying us all the time and we need to have a phone app and we need to have them, you know. No.
Yeah, do you guys remember when they tried to, when people were complaining, the casual gamer I would call them, tried to complain about Shadows Die Twice, saying it was too hard and they wanted them to put an easy mode in it? And they're like, nah, there's no easy mode. This is how the game is. Simple as that. If you can't do it, you got to move on to something else. You know, they were blunt about it, you know, and I respect them for that, you know.
It's nothing wrong with it.
Games. Yeah, it's nothing wrong with it. It's just that everybody, I don't know, just everybody wants to beat everything or think they don't have to put any skill into whatever like that. You know, a lot of gamers don't have that skill that we came up with when it comes to certain games or whatever. So they just don't want to do it at all. They say, just make it easier. Why is this game so hard? You know, From Software is not about that at all. All their games are challenging, I'll say.
Did these people complain because they couldn't beat Dragon Force and Guitar Hero? You think they bitched? They were like, you know, I mean, it probably is a dummy easy mode for that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, there should be stuff that's hard that you can't beat. There's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of things in video games over the years that I have tried to beat and failed, and I've moved on with my life, and it's okay. It's all right, guys. It's all right. I don't care, and even if you can beat it, congratulations.
It was so funny. There's a YouTuber called I Show Speed, I think his name is. He was playing Elden Ring the other night, and I guess his viewers were telling him to fight the tree boss or whatever. So he just started up the game, and in Elden Ring, I've played a little bit of Elden Ring, not enough of it to know much about it, but from what I heard is like you could play like in-level bosses like right at the beginning of the game, you know. So they had him trying to beat this tree boss or whatever. and he was raging, you know, just out of his mind on his stream because he kept dying or whatever. Like he died like at least 50 times trying to play this boss, and it was so hilarious.
Come back, man.
Right. He didn't know. You know, his streamers were they were baiting him, not, you know, him not understanding that this type of game. Yes, you have the option to play that, to fight that character, but you need to grind and come back to this character. You can't do it initially at the beginning. But that type of thing will make people put the game down because they're not educated about how to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you can do something doesn't necessarily mean you should do it, you know, in those type of games, you know. So it's just, it was insane, dude.
And there's a lot of things in games where, like, especially like I was talking about this before the stream. I played the like original Ninja Gaiden the other day. I don't know why, say a sadistic impulse or something like that. I don't know. I was just like, oh, I love that game. I don't love that game. I was wrong. I don't love it. It's evil. But like, even there was like points where like I thought it was impossible, but really what it is there was like one little power up, and I needed to get the little spinny thing that makes you spin in the air, and then once you got that, you could clear that level like no problem. So it's like sometimes, like you said, when it comes to a game, if you're hitting your head against the wall, you need to stop and regroup and maybe just reanalyze like your whole approach, because there's something you could be like, how many times have you played a game where you're just sitting there, you go, I have got to be missing something. Like, I've got to be missing something. Like, this boss is not dying. I've been fighting him for 2 hours. He's got a shield, and I cannot break the shield. What am I doing wrong? And then you realize, oh, my God, there's this little switch over here, and you have to hit all 3 switches, and then the shield pops down, and you can shoot him in the butt.
I ran into that issue with the game I'm playing right now, man. It pissed me off. Ilden Chronicles, 100 Heroes. It's like the new Suikoden game. I was playing casual, like in a casual way, unfortunately, and I wasn't paying attention to something simple like, hey, there's a gimmick to this battle. You have to like hit this switch or whatever like that. That'll help you beat the boss. I was like, damn, dude, like what the hell's going on here? But yeah, I get what you're saying with that, man. So this made me think about that.
Oh, I went through that with Final Fantasy Rebirth several times. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like, oh yeah, because like I'm not, you know, I don't read. I don't pay attention to instructions. I don't know if I just
we learned a trial and error.
Yeah, I'll be fighting, and I'll be like 6 minutes into the fight, and all of a sudden the boss will just go and one shot me, and everybody just died. I'm like, oh, what the hell is going on? So like there were several times where I'm like, okay, clearly there's something I'm missing, and I need to actually pay attention and read and use my assess material thing and be like, what does he do? Oh, I have to interrupt him when he casts the spell. Okay, good to know. You know, like,
a game that did that to me, which I fell in love with this game, was Remnant 2. So Remnant 2, we finally beat that game. Me, John, and no, John wasn't on that stream. It was me, Gordo, and Joel. And that game, Remnant 2, is far superior than Part 1 in every level, but in every way. But that game, you have to grind and like earn different armor and level up your guns and like do all this stuff, because you'll go into a level and a boss, and one hit you're done. You know, like, but to this day, I love that game, and I want to get the platinum on it. So I need to go and do some little cleanup on it, because that game is so amazing. So I highly recommend it.
Actually, yeah, shout out to John from Intrigue Gaming for introducing that series to us on Media Glitch. John was the reason why we picked up the first game and we played it. And we didn't, I mean, first game, we got whooped up in the first game. The second game was superior, though, like Kat was saying. So, but I love that series, man. I'm actually thinking about getting the Switch version just to have it portable, but, you know, just for fun. But, yeah, man, I need to finish that myself, too, KAG.
Dude,
I think it's on sale
such,
right now, actually.
It is on sale, and it's such a fantastic game because you can play it in so many different levels, right? And you can dig deep into the game. Your character, you can have 2 different builds for your character. You can be like a medic and a gunslinger. And a lot of people like try to go through the game as one different type, but you can have 2 different types on one character. And there was one part in the game that I'll never forget. We made it to this chamber, and there's all these blocks moving around, flipping back and forth. It's kind of like a puzzle, but you had to shoot these orbs on the blocks to get through that level, and it was so amazing. Like that game is one of my favorite games of all time. I have it on PS5 and Xbox, and they did a great game. And some games just pull you in like that, right? Because I would have never thought, because that's like a Souls type game. And
you know what's funny about it, Cat?
Pulled me in.
No promotion either. And that game did as well as it did.
And it came out at $50, $49.
It sure did. It sure did. But they didn't put no promotion in it. They knew their fan base. Like, boom, here it is. And it didn't let down. You know. So I just wish that it was 4 players, man. Like that would have been like perfect. A lot of games are doing 3 players. Like, man, put the 4th player in there. Because we tried to play another game, which was an Alien game, Alien Elite.
Yep.
And I dropped off of that one because it wasn't 4 players. Like, man, like it could do it.
3-player thing's odd.
Maybe they just don't like the chaos that World War Z and Left 4 Dead brought with all the crazy like zombies coming at you. Because World War Z, I mean, 4 players on that, and you're going against that horde of zombies, man. It is like mind blowing, especially you playing a game on the PS5 or Xbox Series X. It's on another level, dude. It's like, wow, dude, like crazy detail. It's terrifying and fun, of course.
I think the netcode. I think it's a netcode thing as to why they don't want to go into 4 players, because you're right about that. For whatever reason, with those open type of games, 3 players is like the choice they've always gone with lately. And I think it has to have something to do with netcode. I'm not a developer, I don't know, but that's my assumption, is that it has something to do with like online play and it not being as smooth if you add that one extra character in there. But they need to figure it out, man. They're smart. Yeah. You know, they're on Azure servers and all this money. Just figure it out.
100%. They figure it out, man. But also too, man. So I was thinking a lot about the PS5 and everything like that, and how I want a PS5 with a bit more power. I mean, what do you guys think about the Pro coming out? Hopefully this year, maybe. I don't know.
I think it's. You
think
my
it's a
honest
myth?
opinion? No, it's not a myth. It's there. I know it's coming. I just don't think it's for what they're going to ask for. I just don't think it's worth it personally. And I think that they still haven't used the PS5 and the Xbox Series X at their maximum capabilities. I don't think they've pushed those systems, because if you look at we'll go back to the PS3. We're going to go back to the PS3. The PS3 didn't have its best looking games until the end of its life cycle. And so they figured out how to work with that system. Same thing with the 360. We understand why the PS4 did a Pro. The PS4 did a Pro solely because of VR. The PlayStation VR couldn't run on a regular PS4. It couldn't. They said it, and that's solely why they brought out the Pro.
The Pro.
And the 4K. And that was a big thing too.
It didn't do 4K though.
It was fake 4K. It was fake 4K.
It did 1440p upscaled. Yeah, so like they put on the PS5 on the box it says 8K. Is that system doing 8K? No. It ain't doing 8K. So my thing is this: as a consumer, and I beg the consumers, all of you gamers out there, you're listening to this, don't buy the Pro systems on either system, on the Xbox or whatever. And the reason I say don't do it is because only thing you're doing is screwing yourself later. Because if a company, they're all about money, if they know that they can sell you an underpowered system at the beginning of the system's life cycle, just to 5-6 years in sell you a upgraded version, they'll never give you the best of what they can give you in the beginning. That's the problem. And they're never going to give you a finished product. So when the PS6 comes out, it'll be undercooked because Sony's going to bring out a PS6 Pro. Mm-hmm. Like, do not fall into that, because if you do, you're shooting yourself in the foot, man. You're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. But like you were saying earlier, the better games are made during the later years of the life cycle. So maybe that's why they're kind of like bringing these Pro systems out. I mean, obviously, maybe when the first system comes out, they don't have the technology, or they can't get the turnaround they would with the. I don't know where I'm going with this. I feel like if they bring out the most powerful system in the beginning, which they should, it's not utilized to what it could be, obviously, in the beginning and everything like that. So, a lot of people aren't going to be impressed with it. So why should I get the systems up putting out games that look like the older system, whatever like that?
They're not even putting out any games.
No,
right.
just
Games
That's
remaster.
also a
remasters, all that
major
crap.
problem.
So it's really
if they were like if they had like here's like 4 or 5 new titles coming out that are going to utilize the PS5 Pro hardware and they look freaking god tier, okay, but like have those announced at all? Have we have any announcements for anything good? It's like god damn, it's been dry, man.
I think that Sony, they mismanaged this whole thing. And I'm looking in the chat, and Mikey Live, the boy, says same for the Slim. Why bring out a Slim and then bring out a PS5 Pro?
I agree with that, man. The Slim was a bad idea.
Stupid idea.
The detachable CD drive that you had to like register or whatever like that, like the DVD drive, or Blu-ray drive, excuse me. What the heck was going on with that? And the system, damn it, looks like the regular PS5, just a detachable hard drive. I don't.
Oh,
it was $100 cheaper.
Worse. So, dude, the two things that I find so unforgivable about the Slim was number one, the little plastic foot in the front if you want to put it on the side. What the heck is that, dude? And then secondly, if you want to put it vertically, you had to buy the stand. I couldn't believe they sold the stand separately. Like, what the
insane,
hell,
dude.
You're going to design it purposely so it cannot stand and then sell a $30 accessory to, like, you're going to create a problem and then charge people to fix the problem that you've created.
Yeah, you can use that stand for the digital console only, right? For both. Drive. You use it for both.
Yeah, you use it for both. You know, the thing is, like, I totally like. They should have just went from the PS5, and then go to the PS5 Pro if you're going to do it. Now you literally have to have 3 different assembly lines. If you're going to still go with the regular PS5, you're going to go with the PS5 Slim, and you're going to go with the PS5 Pro. Now you got 3 on it coming off the assembly line. You got 3 different systems using 3 different setups because the heat sink is different in all 3 of them. The chipset is different in all 3 of them because they went to a smaller nanometer in the Slim, more efficient than they go with the regular one. And then the Pro is going to be differently too. I just think it's a waste of money and it's a bad idea for a system. Honestly, you're not bringing out games. They're bringing out the PS5 Pro solely because of one game, and it ain't even a game.
GTA, right?
It's GTA.
Wow.
They don't have the overhead in the PS5 to run GTA the best that it can be ran, and it's still not going to run good either way, or the best it can. And I think that's the only reason they're bringing that out. The Xbox Series X has the extra leg room to be able to run it because they did it in the beginning. So I think that's a real reason, because Sony knows how to develop their games. Their SDKs are easier for their developers to use than it is for developers to use Microsoft's SDK. That's known. That's known in the industry, right? So I don't think you got Wolverine going to be coming out, right? You got a Spider-Man. Another Spider-Man is probably going to be coming out. They hinted at Venom. There's going to be a Venom game coming out.
They got leaked.
Yeah, those games are going to be coming out in the next 3 to 4 years. So that's the end of PlayStation 5 life cycle. That's what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think any of those games need a PS5 Pro, but I do think GTA does.
So when it comes to pricing of the Pro, what do you think the pricing is going to be? Because the regular PS5 is what's $500 out the door.
Yeah, it'll be $599.
Yeah, it'll be $600.
So another $100. Okay.
Yep, it'll be $599. Yeah, for sure.
And then it's going to be shaped like a pretzel, and you're going to need 3 stands to stand it up, and those will be $30.
I don't get it, man. Sony, the PS1, both versions of that system look great. The PS2 definitely looks good, even the Slim.
Dude.
PS3 original, I don't like the way it looked, but I did like the Slim version of it. PS4 Pro, Slim, and regular PS4 look good, but the PS5 system,
ugly.
What about the PS3 Super Slim?
That one, I don't mind that one because it reminds me of the PS1.
Yeah,
in a way, but it's cheaply made though. Unfortunately,
it is.
I hear about those things breaking down and everything. I was like, dude, what the heck? Like, come on, man. Like, really? But the PS3, man. I mean, that had two Slims. Wow. model.
Still, Reggie, I still play my PS3.
Yeah.
Mine is modded. I'm not gonna say that it's hacked, but
You have to get to, yeah.
There's so many games during that generation that I never had a chance to play that I'm always going back and playing all type of games on the PS3 and loving them. They still look good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the 360, the games still look good on the 360. I find myself as of late going back to the older consoles and playing all like my old stuff more than I play the new stuff. So
yeah, and you know that the PS3 is kind of funny too because I was playing it the other day because I was nostalgic about the whole thing about the PlayStation Online going away this year possibly.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting that rumor. I went and played Raccoon City again, and there was people who played online. And I joined their game, and we were having a blast playing it. Yeah, I love that type of stuff. What are you gonna say,
so
Joe?
that's well, one of the things I was going to say that kind of ties back to our early conversation about the industry is that like one of the biggest problems that I think they have, especially with guys like us, is like the people who claim they love physical and so much and like we do, they're still buying PS2 and PS3 games. They're not filling their houses with PS5 games and Xbox One games. It's not what's happening. So it's like even the people who are like, I've tried to explain this. If you're like, I love physical forever. Well, if you're not buying new games on physical, if you're not spending money on if you're not buying the current thing, then it will go away, regardless of how much you love PS1 and PS2 physical games. That doesn't matter. If you're not buying the current thing, it goes away.
Well, we would if they were giving us a complete package. The problem is they're not putting the complete package in the game. That's why physical media today is like, what the heck? Like, day one patch. We're basically the testers now of a product. Yeah. So we test it out, which we shouldn't have to, and they put us in that weird situation where the game just doesn't feel complete. It's very rarely where games feel complete. Final Fantasy Rebirth, that felt complete. That was a great experience for me. I'll never forget. I want to go back and play it now.
A data disc and a play disc. Thank you.
Yeah. But
way to do it.
Those feel like complete games. Like something else, I'm trying to think of something else right now. I don't have my glasses on. But a lot of these games don't feel complete, and then you don't want to buy them day one. You know what I mean? It's just like you feel safe buying something like Dead Space Remake day one because, hey, that game's complete, right? But when it comes to the newer generation games being made today, man, they're just not a complete package, and it takes a lot away from like money. Money comes and go, but we work hard for our money. You know what I mean? So dropping $70 on the game that just doesn't feel complete is always going to have a bunch of DLC later, season pass, all that bullshit. That's why physical media is dying because these guys are just adding too much of that stuff. They took advantage of it. They were testing it during the 7th generation era. And nobody really paid attention to it. And then by the time they got to the 8th generation, it's like, season pass. It started with fighting games and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, you're piecing stuff together. Not a lot of these guys aren't ambitious to make sequels or whatever like that. Maybe they don't have the money to make it sequels or whatever like that, but they got to keep making DLC. I get it in some cases, but you could tell when they're taking advantage of it. Like I feel like Street Fighter 4 took way advantage of with those characters in that game. I mean, it ended up being an ultimate package, literally. But man, come on, dude. They could have been working on Street Fighter 5 way before that, but they didn't. And Street Fighter 5 was oh god, I don't even go into what that was, man. The DLC season pass stuff. It ruined the game.
Well, to kind of go back to what we were talking about earlier, the Polymega, right?
Yeah.
This is why this system is awesome because something I didn't mention earlier, which Reggie had brought up with the PS3 online disappearing. Polymega has something coming out later this year called Polymega XL, and it's their online aspect of the store of the system, to where you'll be able to play all those old school games online with friends. So any Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, PS1, Sega Saturn. I'm trying to think of all the disc-based games you can put on there. All of those games you'll be able to play with Polymega XL online. They'll have achievements. You can download, put your saves in the cloud, and all of that. So once Polymega XL launches, that's going to drive a lot of people to the system too. Because when me, Reggie, John, and Joel were playing online retro games during the pandemic, we learned how to use RetroArch, and how to play online together through RetroArch was an amazing experience for old games that didn't have online play. And we always said, and I remember us saying, why is no one focusing on this because this is amazing to be able to play these games together and that we never could. You know what I'm saying? We were playing was
Golden
Eternal
Axe.
Champions and Golden Axe and all these games together, and we're all in different parts of the country. And with Polymega XL, they're going to have that. So all of our retro stuff, well, you know, yes, those stores are disappearing. What the Wii U store disappeared. The Xbox 360 store is gone later on this year. They're going to get rid of it. I'm guaranteed once the Xbox 360 store shuts down, the PS3 store will shut down, follow right behind it. But there's companies that are trying to give us access to that stuff because we're still playing and we want to play it, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, too. And I found out a lot of games that kind of went offline for PS3. Some people got them back running again in their own little private servers, so you can play on the PS3. You just got to. I forgot you have to do some kind of configuration, but they got them working again, which is amazing to me. You know, well, I think my first experience with something like that being amazing, like when it comes to like playing old school games online again, was with Resident Evil Outbreak. When they broke the code and got that back online, dude, I was like, dude, this is freaking awesome. So I love that people are doing that. But yeah, these stores, man. I mean, the PS3 store. Have you been there lately?
No.
Man, it is horrible, man. Like it's
like
weird.
broken,
like,
dude.
Get what you want. Know what you want before you go in there, type it in, and then you get the hell out after you get it. And then don't even. Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, it hasn't been maintained in years. It's like all buggy and weird, and yeah, it's all screwed up. But yeah, that's one thing about the Polymega 2. It's very consumer friendly, and also a feature that I find very attractive about it that made me consider buying is it lets you play region free games, right? It's not region locked, right?
All right, so system is not region locked. You can play any burn games on there too. A lot of people don't know that is you can burn any game and put it onto the Polymega. You can also put your own BIOS on the Polymega. It's super easy if you want to put your BIOS for the games. And another thing that I've been doing with the Polymega is you can play all hacked games, and you can download any region or translation packs and put them right into the Polymega. All you have to do is put them on a thumb drive, and then it'll pop right up on there. And just
quick question for you, KAG. So when I had access to Jason's Polymega, I had these Lunar games for the Sega CD. The hackers uncensored them, so they're like the original Japanese versions in English with all the content in it. And then when I started playing on Polymega, the game came on, but the screen was all messed up. Like it was like in the corner, and we couldn't even really play it. So is there a way to fix that on the Polymega? Is there some kind of editing I would have to do to kind of make the game work on the system?
I would have to see what it is. It could have just been the BIOS for it. Like if that game was like a PAL version, or when they altered the game, if it was a PAL version, it could have did that. So you can change the BIOS to PAL and for whatever that system is. So if it was a Sega Saturn game, and the guys who did that patch or whatever did it in PAL, you just have to download the PAL BIOS, and then it'll probably fix it. Because if you're playing on NTSC and then the game is PAL, you know it's going to show crazy on your TV anyways.
Right.
But yeah, it's you can fool around with it and make sure a lot of that stuff works on the system. So yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Because man, and also too with the Polymega, I like about it is that system will load up a Neo Geo CD game instantly. Like all those Neo Geo CD games with bad load times, gone.
Now there's a trick, and there's a reason why the Polymega is doing that. It's not loading the game. It's not reading the disc. Okay, so like it's installing the game as you're playing it. So when you put that disc in there, it tricks you, and you're thinking that you're playing the game off of the disc. But if you look in the background, it's installing the game. So
Simulation.
you're playing you're right.
More like
so
hybrid emulation. Yeah.
So you're playing the game. So I don't necessarily think anything can run Neo Geo CD games fast.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, it was only like a one speed. I think it went up to two speed CDs for like how for how fast it was. So yeah, I get that, but it's just nice to know that you have the original Neo Geo CD game and you can play it like without having to deal with the load times. Because remember the old joke back in the day before even Saturn and some of these other systems was if you play a Neo Geo CD game and that load screen pops up, You go make a sandwich, get you a little drink or whatever like that while I was doing all that and come
Yeah.
back
Yep.
in the game. I remember a guy did a video on it years ago. It's hilarious. So I actually skipped on getting the Neo Geo CD because there was 3 versions of it. The first model was the front loader one, which looks really cool. And the
Mhm.
second model, that's the one
Top
mostly
loader.
everybody has. And then the last one was the Neo Geo CD X or
CDZ.
something. No,
CDZ.
Z. Thank you.
Yep.
That one actually bumps up the faster load times, which is nice. But obviously, those systems are really expensive now.
And
So,
no, that one didn't even come out to the United States. That was
Yeah.
exclusively to Japan. You had to import it, which kind of sucked. You know what I'm saying? I think that that was just them like their first forte into CD media. So I think they messed up. And then here came the PlayStation. So the PlayStation stopped a lot of stuff. Like the PS1 made a lot of people abandon what they were going to do when
New
it
games,
came
yeah.
to CD-based games. Because remember, shortly after that, the Jaguar CD came out, which it was only like there was only it's mixed numbers on this, but I think it was only ever 5,000 Jaguar CDs ever made. That's a very, very
It's very rare, man.
obscure,
That's why it's so hard to find.
Yep.
And then you want to find them working too, of course. But yeah, that thing is like extremely rare. 500. That's it.
5,000. I think it was
5,000
only,
still.
I think it was only 5,000 ever
But
made.
still,
And
yeah.
and that was like the end of their thing, And they did. I can't say they had any good games on there, but I just feel like the PlayStation 1 stopped everything. Like they just like we can't compete with that, so just scrap it.
Yeah, everybody was all about PlayStation, man. Like the PlayStation opened up the door for video games not being looked at as like nerd stuff. Like it got into mainstream pretty much. Like everybody was getting the PlayStation. FMV, survival horror games, Crash Bandicoot, stuff like that. I mean, the sports games. I mean, it was mind blowing, and I still remember it. You know what's funny about me? You think I would have got the PlayStation before the N64. I actually got the N64 first before I got a PlayStation, and it's just still a weird story for me. But I saw Star Fox at Babbage's 64, and I was blown away with it, with the Rumble Pack and everything like that. And I said, I got to have this game. And I got the game. My mom helped me get the 64, and that was pretty much the only game I had on my N64 before I got my PlayStation. I was like, man, all right, I'm done with this game. Let me get the PlayStation now. I only had 3 games for my N64 in the beginning: Zelda, Wave Race, and Star Fox. And then PlayStation after that. That was good.
Love Wave Race. That's like my favorite N64 game. And PlayStation, they were just smart coming into the business because obviously they were not only a video game company, they were a multimedia company.
Right.
And I'm quite sure all 3 of us, our first DVD player was a PS2.
Hell yeah.
No, not me. I actually got one before. Yeah, I was like a rare one that got one before it, man.
Oh,
my
you had
family
big
had
money.
one.
You
My
had
dad
big money,
had one.
Reggie.
Here's what happened,
But,
Kat.
my personal one was a PS2.
I got, I think it was a Panasonic? No, it was a Pioneer DVD player. The reason I got it because I just got into anime, and I did not want to buy those VHS tapes. I was like, man, there's nothing on here. I have to rewind it, get to my favorite scenes.
Yeah.
And DVD, I was like, dude, if I get this DVD player, I want to deal with that ever again. So I remember buying the anime, which is hella expensive still, but I remember the joy of being able to skip to the scenes easily, because a lot of people don't know the struggle of rewinding the tape, trying to get to certain scenes or whatever like that. So I actually had one before I got a PS2 and everything, which is kind of funny. But yeah, most people probably PS2 was their first DVD player, no doubt about it. And it was a good DVD player too.
It was.
If the CD didn't have the error code or whatever like that PS2 had when it first came out. But yeah,
I probably would have got a Dreamcast first if it wasn't for the DVD player, because my buddy had a Dreamcast and I'd been playing Soul Calibur at his house and I was obsessed, and I would have gotten one, but the DVD player pushed me over the edge. I was like, nah, dude, I have to have that. And I'm glad I got the PS2 overall. But yeah, I definitely think that's what killed the Dreamcast, man.
The
That
Dreamcast
DVD feature.
Still today, today when we look back on it, yes, the PS2 has some amazing titles, but my love for the Dreamcast never wavers.
No.
That's still my favorite system. It never changed. It had some of the best games. I mean, I remember playing Power Stone with 4 people in college, 4 controllers on there. It was just mind blowing. So I'm like, yo, this is insane. Then Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Then what else Soul Calibur, Dead or Alive, oh man, what else was it? There's so many games.
Crazy
man.
Taxi, I love.
Well,
Crazy, yes, Crazy
here's the
Taxi.
thing too.
Ready to Rumble Boxing was
no one's-
sick, dude.
Yes.
And no one's been able to compete with Dreamcast on launch. Dreamcast still has the best launch ever in video
Yes.
game history. Like
Mhm.
you could go out the 5 games that came out, I can't remember exactly who they were. Soul Calibur was one of them, I believe. Sonic Adventure. But dude, that launch was amazing. It gave you a reason to really go out and want to buy that system.
Yep.
No other system's really done that. Not like the Dreamcast did. That was probably the best launch in video game history too, because it was $9.99.99. And remember how happy everybody was going to the Electronic Boutique. Everybody was a celebration. People even had pictures of it online of going like to those events and everything like that. And the Dreamcast would have really did great in America. It was going to do great on paper, but unfortunately, I think what saved Sony, which they didn't really need saving because obviously the PlayStation 1 was so it did so well, but adding DVD function to the system.
Yeah.
That was what killed Sega.
I remember, listen, I was in college when I got my Dreamcast, and I got my first credit card to get the Dreamcast, and you won't believe it. I got it from Sears. We were in Sears. It was a mall. I was at Bowling Green. That's where I went to college at. And we were in Toledo, me and a couple buddies, and we went to this mall called Franklin Park Mall in Toledo, Ohio. And I'm like, dude, I want this Dreamcast so bad or whatever. And then the lady was like, oh, we can sign you up for a Sears card. I'm like, what's a Sears card? She's like, oh, it's our credit card. I was like, all right, whatever, just sign me up.
A lot of credit.
Dude, $1,500, dude, they gave me. $1,500, as a freshman in college.
I got 4.
And dude, I bought Dreamcast. I bought 4 controllers. I bought 2 BMUs.
You were all out.
I bought like 6 games. I bought I'll never forget it. I bought a Panasonic Plasma TV. Remember Plasmas?
Yeah.
I bought this Panasonic Plasma TV for our dorm room. And we lived it up, dude. Like we lived
you made that life. You had a very popular room, I'm sure.
Arcade experience in your room, man. Affordable arcade experience. The Dreamcast. Man, it's such a man, dude. I'm just going back to thinking about just how wonderful that system it was during this short lifespan in America. There's nothing but happy memories with that system. You know what I mean? They pushed online.
Yes. Yep.
The online is Fantasy Star Online was fun.
Fantasy Star Online, NBA 2K, NFL 2K series, man, that blew up. No, I have no bad memories and no negative outlook on the Dreamcast at all. And then I got my in college, and this was ruined the Dreamcast because in college I got my first computer, the gateway computer. And that's when I learned that you could just burn the games. And I had a whole CD book. You remember those big
that killed the Dreamcast.
CD books of burnt Dreamcast games because it would just play them. You just burn them on a CDR, put them in the system, and it would just play. And still to this day, man, I play Dreamcast all the time.
Yeah, me too. It looks fantastic too on the emulation on the upscalers too. God, it's gorgeous. Speaking of things that are gorgeous, have you guys noticed the Figsy's not around? Have you seen him?
Blue Stinger. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh,
where is Figsy? Where is he?
Figsy? He's been a while for us. So if you've been watching for the last few weeks, you guys know, but I'll explain it again. So Figsy, he plays GeoGuessr a lot. It's like a game where you look at street maps. It's GeoGuessr is the game, and you try to guess where you are. And he's been trying to become a master, and he's been studying for weeks. But he said he's learned all he can learn on the computer, so he actually travel the world and see these places in person. So he's been traveling the world, and he's been sending us pictures each week, trying to keep us filled in. So last week he was in Japan. He was having a really good time. And then this week, he went to Russia to visit Pavel. So, he's made some friends while he was there. So this is his new friend, Boris the bear. They're like total besties now. I mean, I'm not sure why Boris has no teeth, which is kind of weird, but that's all right. And then while he was there, he also decided to get a little culture and learn how to dance a little bit. So there it is. Yeah, looking good.
Oh my
Funny.
god, that reminds me of Street Fighter 6.
All I know is Figsy, your hair looks fantastic in this picture. Like,
Reggie
just
knows what
absolutely glorious.
Reggie knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's her move, man.
So
Dude,
even
Keg,
if
I
you-
was,
Go ahead.
oh yeah, I was just good old Street Fighter, man. Have you guys? I mean, are you guys still playing? Have you played Street Fighter 6, Joe?
I haven't played it yet. No,
I'm still playing.
Yeah.
I'm playing Tekken. I've been playing Tekken.
I haven't played Tekken yet. Street Fighter 6, I try to I'll play it in spurts here and there to see if I'm still okay online, and I'm usually about half and half online. But man, I gotta admit, man, I'm not really feeling it like I am the older titles, man. Like I like it, but I try to pick Ryu and a couple older characters, and I got beat up bad. It's like, I'm just not feeling it like that no more. I feel like the sprite-based games for me, when it comes to fighting games, when it comes to 2D, is where I could really feel the most comfortable, man. When it comes to 3D and the 2D like layout or whatever like that, it just doesn't really mess with me like that, you know. But yeah.
They just added Akuma in there.
Or is he in there finally? He should have been added in
Yeah.
the beginning. You know, they adding these characters on like that, taking like what every 4 months they'll add a new character. Now they're gonna do season 2 pass.
This is a game, Reggie, that I highly recommend. I actually got my platinum on this game, and you'll love it if you don't already have it. This here.
Nitro Blasters. I haven't.
Oh, you
picked it
got?
up.
Oh, Nitro Blasters. I haven't played that in a minute, dude. You got a platinum on that? Nice.
Platinum on this. I love this game. I mean, I absolutely love this game. And when I got it, you know, once again, it reminds me of Reggie because they put this amazing book in here.
Yeah, man.
Book. Look at that. Look at the back.
They went all out. They went all out with that.
Listen,
You know,
this is an amazing game. So and you can pick it up for relatively cheap, but when it comes to fighting games, this is top notch fighting game, man. And
it really is, and it gets overlooked. I mean, I know one of the characters, even though she's like the character portrait for the game, Super Sonico, like one of the weakest characters, but there's still a lot of good characters in there. They got the girl from that series called Stay Night. Arthur, I can't remember all this stuff. It's all a blur. But they got a lot of cool characters in there, man. And yeah, it's a solid game. It definitely is.
Yeah.
So speaking of one-on-one combat, you guys ready?
We're doing the quiz this time?
It's an easy one. You got
Sure.
it. It's not like it ain't a crazy one. This one's actually fun. Sometimes they're really hard. This one's chill.
Put on my glasses for this one.
Oh yeah, here we go. So this week's theme is 13th century Greek literature. No, I'm just kidding. It's not gonna.
Oh shit! Hey, give me 1 second. I have to run to the restroom. I'll be right back.
All right, that's fine. Take your time. Got to get ready. So yeah, this one's gonna be super easy. It's basically just I'm gonna show you guys covers of games, and there will be like a missing word on the title, and you just have to say the missing word.
Okay.
So it's they start off wicked easy, and then they get a little progressively harder as they go. So
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like something I could get into.
It's not too bad. It's not like in 1976, this Russian scientist who really liked Pong, his favorite color was this controller that only came out in Korea.
Well, here's a good thing to talk about. What until Kat gets back, I thought about like the Switch 2. Do you ever think? I mean, do you think it's a myth, or do you think it's this? I think they're making a new system, not a Switch.
I have a feeling they were going to come out with a completely new system that didn't have any backwards compatibility, and I think they
saw the backlash.
I think they read the room a little bit, and they pushed it back out, and they're going to make it so it will also play Switch games. But I don't I don't think it's going to have Joy-Cons. I don't think it's going to be like that same setup. Like I think you'll have to use your Switch equipment to play the games on the new unit.
Which is totally fine. I mean, I don't mind that because the Switch Joy-Cons are not really.
I hate them.
Yeah, they're not really my
Worst.
cup of tea.
Least favorite controller of all time.
I know, right? But backwards
that-
compatibility is very important to a lot of people because if they have backwards compatibility, some of these games could get patches too, to where they play a little better on the newer system. If it comes to that, which will be nice. So
that would be very nice because there's like a lot of games that just run like crap on the Switch, and it's unfortunate that
yeah,
they're like that. And then even if you like, we're talking about this earlier too, like even if you get a more powerful unit like a ROG Ally or a Steam Deck to play games like that, the battery on those gets sucked dry in like 10 minutes, and they also be at 400 degrees and they'll melt your crotch. So it's like, I don't know, it's not like ideal. So I'm hoping that the new Switch is a little more powerful and will play those games and do a little better job. Like my girlfriend likes Slime Rancher, for example, that game. And at first it plays fine, but like once you've like built your base up and you have like, 1,000 slimes rendered in your little base, things like it just can't do it anymore. Like it just can't handle it. So I think it'll have backwards compatibility. We can get into this a little more after the quiz too.
All right. I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear it.
Right, cool. Whew, man, you get older, man. You can't hold it like you used to. Drink too many liquids.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, the theme of this is going to be: I'm just going to show you guys pictures of game covers, and there'll be a word that's missing, and you just have to tell me the missing word.
Okay.
Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
KAG. All right. Question 1. What is the missing word?
It's Mission Impossible. Impossible.
Yep, that is right.
I wonder if that game is any good. I mean, that cover cracks me up.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it looks like he's just like let out the most epic fart of his life.
Oh wow! I didn't think about that. That's a good. Yeah, that's a good comparison.
He's like, Lord, take me. Really mature. Man. All right, Reggie, this one's yours. You can say They start off easy, like I said. They go a little harder.
Yeah, Mr. Mosquito, and it's not even spelled Mister. It's spelled like Mister, like Mr. T, or the Mr. T show, the cartoon show.
I've never heard of that game.
Really? Yeah, it was part of the Fresh series. They brought out certain import like Japanese games that would never come out over here. That Mad Maestro and R-Type Final Part 1, I think, were the ones that they released.
Was it any good? Was it a good game?
Yeah, they're really interesting games. Yeah, they're interesting games.
I'm pretty sure Jason put this in one of his hidden gem videos. Yeah, you fly around the room as a mosquito, you suck blood out of people, and then like
just don't get caught, of course.
Some of it like a girl in a bathtub and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I saw the guy. I think it's like, I don't know if he runs it or he owns East Asia Soft. He was tweeting about that game. He's like, we need a fully uncensored adult version of this game.
Oh wow!
I'm like,
my friend. Oh,
UK.
Hat in Time. This is Reggie got me hooked up to this game. I think it's called Hat in Time.
Yeah.
This is because of you, Reggie. I know that. Because I think did you play that on PS4 also?
Yeah, I played it on PS4 version. That's a great game, and it's online now too.
I gotta play that.
Which is kind of cool.
You're never gonna get this one, Reggie. Yeah, you'll never get this one.
Oh God,
I love this game. I actually like this game.
You guys know this game has a reverse cover. So people who are watching right now, if you have this game, Samurai Western, it has a reversible cover. I actually like the reverse cover better because it shows the chemistry between the two brothers. But yeah, that game is so good, man. And, oh gosh,
I do like that game a lot.
Yeah, dude. You know what's funny? It's a part of the way of the Samurai series, like a spinoff of that series. A lot of people don't know.
All right, so those were like the easy ones, I think. That's the softball. So now it's gonna get a little bit harder. So here's your KAG.
Oh man.
Got a PAL game.
You know what, man? I don't even know. Let's see. We're just gonna go with Monster Master. That's just, I don't know. I have no idea. It looks like Shrek in the back there.
It's not Monster Master. Good guess. Nor is it Shrek Master.
I'm gonna go out how he looks. Let's call it Ghoul Master.
Oh,
Ghoulish looking character. That was close, huh?
so close.
Ghost Master.
Ghost Master.
Okay.
Wait,
So-
Ghoul? No, a Ghoul is a ghost. They're the same. No, I don't want to use that loophole.
All right, Reggie.
I just bought this. I just bought this game. I have it.
Yeah, it looks like it would be Kabuki Fighter or something, right?
Oh,
Is that your final answer?
No. Yeah, why not?
hold up.
Nope, not Kabuki.
Darn.
No. Where's it at?
If you bought it, KAG, it better be a good game, right?
It is. It is Mystical Fighters. I just bought that game, and it's actually a really good game.
Wow.
It's like one of those old school like sleeper games. It's a beat 'em up. It's a side scrolling beat 'em up, man, and I really enjoyed it. I played it on an emulator. One of my buddies had on his arcade cabinet, and then I instantly went and bought it. So I have a physical for Genesis. Great game.
That's badass. All right, KAG.
Oh man. Now I know this.
I do not.
By
By the way, this is
I know this one
a
too.
lot.
It's
Quiz is
easy
a
one.
lot easier asking the questions than answering.
Yeah, I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
KAG. It's a sequel to the game too.
yeah. I can't
All right.
remember the name.
All right,
I'm just gonna go with. I'm
Look,
gonna say
he's getting
Legends. I'm gonna say Legends of
there you
Chaos.
go. Yeah, there we go. Oh, he got it wrong.
Yeah, I got it wrong.
It's,
That's
it's,
not the name.
I believe it's a Legend of Oasis.
Yep, that's what it is.
Bang, bang.
Yes, that is exactly
Very
what
nice.
it was. Yep.
Very nice.
It has two prequels. There's one on the Game Gear and there's one on the Genesis, I believe.
Is that the same as the other that Oasis like action?
Yeah, they're like sequels to each other.
No shit, man. I know
Yeah.
very little about the Saturn library. I really need to like.
At least I think. You guys let me know in the comments. I'm pretty sure, even though that says Sega exclusive.
It looks very similar, so it wouldn't shock me.
The
All right,
Sega
Reggie.
Saturn library is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
That's a Genesis game. I've never even seen that.
Let's see that.
That's some quality artwork right there.
Yeah, man.
Lobster
a-
Man.
Is it a fighting game?
Got robot. Got is that a Sphinx? What is it? Is that
Yeah, that's a Sphinx back there. Yep.
got a Birdman? Some good stuff right here. I can see these guys not getting along. You know what I mean?
Mystic Masters.
I don't even know. Hold on, let me look. No. Nope. Wait. No. Close though, but no. That's not it. Okay.
I'm be honest with you. I'm gonna go with Legend Masters. I don't know. I don't know the game. It's my first time ever seeing this cover, dude.
Yeah, I would have never gotten this.
Fighting Masters. Oh, that's
Fighting
super
Masters.
Easy.
Is it though?
So-
I've never
so-
heard of it.
Such a
That's
simple,
such-
simplistic name.
Yeah, such a generic name. We should have been able to get that.
You should've
I'm
went
gonna
with that 'cause
actually
of the way
look
the
into
cover
this
looks.
game. I'm gonna look into this game because
Fighting
It's got an official Sega seal of quality, so it's got to be a good game. You know what I mean? Like, if it's
Yeah,
got
they
this-
didn't just hand it out to any game, right?
yeah, it's not. Yeah, you know, it's even got the gold one. You know what I'm saying? All right, KAG. This one I actually knew because I've seen this 1,000 times and always been intrigued by this cover.
Oh, I remember this game.
Crystal Dynamics and Eidos.
Yeah,
This game came out to America too.
yeah, it did. I see this in magazines all the time.
I've never seen this game before. The Unholy.
Matrimony.
Right.
played it, though.
I've never played it. I don't even know what it is. Just seen the cover before.
It's a PAL game.
And America. It came out to America.
The Unholy Fear. I don't know. Never seen that game ever.
Fear. Reggie?
Crystal Dynamics and Eidos.
I'm not gonna get it either, but I would say the Unholy Book.
Oh. The Unholy War.
Should have known.
It's funny for
I don't
some
own that
reason.
game.
Other than like the easy ones at the beginning, like this was the only other one.
Wait,
that
do I own
knew
it?
out of all of these.
I'm curious if I own it or not.
Yeah, Joel, we're still alive.
Reggie, this one's for you.
Man, you guys got some weird ones in here. Magical Data East, Magical Kids.
Not kids.
Hmm.
This is actually pretty popular series. There's like 4 or 5 of them, I think. That new one just came out recently.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
KAG?
KAG is off.
Is it like Bust a Move? Is it like Magical Pop? Or Magical Bop or Magical Pop or something like that?
Oh, you're so close, brother.
Drop, yes, because they have that on Neo Geo or MVS.
The cover threw me off, man. That cover is a bit different, but I should have known by the guy, the cape in the background. But I haven't played the game that much, so yeah, darn it.
Oh, Joe got it. Joe got it in chat. Magical Drop, yeah.
All right, KAG. It's a tough one.
The Temple of Elemental Souls. I don't know. It's a Dungeons and Dragons game, so I'm never gonna get it. The Temple of Elemental Powers. I'll go with that.
Not Powers. Reggie?
Temple Elemental Souls. Evil.
Yeah.
How can evil be elemental, man? It's I mean, you can say good or good
Fire,
bad,
water,
evil.
water, evil.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Joel got it right.
When you think of elemental, you think about like fire and water or something like that. You know what I mean? Ice and
I don't know.
yeah.
All right, Reggie.
Yeah, let's see what you got here.
That could be a Russian swear. I don't even know what that says.
This is battle fight. Something silly.
Not fight. No, it is something silly, but it's not fight. No. KAG?
That is going to be Battle Monsters.
That is indeed.
Yes, I have that game. On
Battle
Sega.
Is that a good game?
It's a horrible game.
I mean, it looks pretty bad.
Very, very bad game, but it's good.
KAG, do you know
Ooh.
this one?
Oh
That's
my
the easy
God.
one.
Thank you.
You got this,
Ooh.
KAG. You have to.
Oh my God.
You're not supposed to root for him, Reggie.
I
Well,
don't
nah,
have.
It's nice. Oh, go ahead.
I don't have this one. But I'm I have no idea. The Adventures of, because I've never even seen this character.
Are you a fan of Jennifer Lopez?
Not really.
Oh, no.
Reason I'm
gonna
not
get
a fan. Reason I'm not a fan of. The reason I'm not a fan of Jennifer Lopez is because my aunt that passed away, bless her heart, she looked just like Jennifer Lopez, so I never found Jennifer Lopez attractive. So,
I got you.
because she looks just like my aunt, dude. So
That could ruin it for you.
Yeah. Start that music.
Adventure of
my aunt Beyonce.
I don't know, Dot, Adventure of Slot, Adventure of Solo, Adventure of Color. I don't know, man.
Oh,
Adventure,
you kind of
Adventure of Solo.
You kind of had it in rhyme.
All right, Reggie, what is it?
Adventures of Lolo.
That's right.
What?
Lolo.
That's why I threw that hint about Jennifer Lopez because Low. And
Yep.
then, you know.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh,
said
really?
like
I've never played that.
you said like Rolo or something. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So so like I feel like you subconsciously knew that from your childhood. Like you knew it, but you couldn't bring it. You couldn't bring it out because like it was in there. You were rattling it around.
That was a hard game though, man, back in the day. Like puzzle, because that game you could break yourself into a puzzle that you couldn't get out of, and it's like, oh, annoying.
That's a good game. Solid. All right, Reggie.
What do you got?
Oh my god.
Graffiti Kingdom.
No hesitation.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, PS2 stuff, man. At least if it came out to America, I'm on point with it. At least I think I am. Make sure I own that game.
Was that a good game?
On that.
It's interesting, man. It has a sequel, but the sequel is called something else on the system.
Okay.
Joel's calling his noobs in the chat.
Well, Joel's got to come out here and freaking show us what's up then. Come on, the next episode.
Chibi
Reggie?
Robo.
Wait, is it Reggie? Because it's Reggie's question.
No.
It's KAG. It's
KAG.
My bad.
Blank into Adventures. Chibi Robo.
That's easy.
Jumps into Adventure.
Nope.
Chibi Robo. GameCube is probably my worst one.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't. I was so disappointed in Mario Sunshine. I never even went back to most.
That was the first game to have voice acting for the Mario series too.
I was so obsessed with Dreamcast and PS2. Like the GameCube was just like afterthought. It wasn't even on my radar. Other than Mario Party, I love Mario Party, but
I don't know. Chibi Robo shocks into Adventure. I don't know. GameCube's not my thing, man.
Reggie?
Yeah, I'm just going off the cover. Like he has that plug. So Chibi Robo plug into Adventure. Yeah.
I should have been able to get that one. Wow.
That's why I thought you were gonna get it, because I looked at him, the plug on top of it, holding it, and it's like, okay, plug into Adventure. Yeah, it makes sense.
All right, so this one is definitely, in my opinion, the hardest one.
Hopefully I get this one instantly.
Oh.
So it's
I think
Asian
I know what
import.
that is.
I've never seen this game before.
So you need to
let's
call blank word, and you have to translate everything at the top in perfect English. Just kidding. Just the bottom word.
I think it's Butterfly Catcher.
Nope.
Okay. I have no idea.
Any guesses, KAG?
And we're trying to recognize the bottom right there, where
Just
the
the one word, just that blank word. Yeah, you don't have to know none of the actual. I'm pretty sure we've seen this game on the show before. It's a pretty collectible PS3 game, I believe. If you're a full set collector.
I don't know, 100 holidays. No, Happy Holidays, 20th Century. Happy Holidays. I don't know.
Good guess.
Summer Holidays.
20th Century. So, final score today, we have KAG with 4 points. But our winner today is Radical Reggie with 6 points.
I took the lead. Right on, man. I wasn't sure when we got to the harder questions.
Yeah.
That Graffiti Kingdom and that Chibi Robo saved me.
Yeah, man. The Graffiti Kingdom, I knew nothing about that game. Looks dope though. Cover was amazing.
Yeah, it was one of those offshoot games that you were like shocked that came out on PS2, and it even has a sequel, but the sequel's called something different. I'm actually trying to look it up right now.
Well, I didn't have a chat question this week because I'm incompetent. So we don't have one. We had one made. I just didn't upload it because I'm cool like that. Congratulations, that was good stuff, man.
That was awesome.
So I only have like a couple little pickups I can show off real quick. I don't know if you just showed off everything you had.
Damn, you still got pickups, man. Shoot, yeah, I
Well,
gathered a couple of things, but I don't even know if I've already shown them on the channel before.
Yeah, so I got like two little things I'll show real quick.
Okay, cool.
So I found out this game was delisted. Like, I guess you can't buy it on the digital storefront anymore. So that's like a good enough reason for me to get it right there. So I picked up God Wars Future Past. Yeah, it's an NAS title. It's really cheap for a delisted game. And I don't know, maybe this might not be the best version. There's a Switch version of this too. I don't know which one's like the better version to collect or whatever, but you know me, I prefer PS4. So yeah, it looks cool. It's like a tactical RPG, which seems to be something I've been collecting quite a bit lately. So I picked that up pretty cheap. God Wars. And then again, this is just something I wanted to pick up on PS5. I have it on PS4, but I bought the Persona 5 Royal Edition on PS5 just to have the PS5 copy.
Great.
So I have the regular Persona 5 Royal, and I have the regular Persona 5 Steelbook Edition or whatever on PS4. But I don't know. For some reason, like the one thing I am like really enjoying collecting for PS5 is RPGs. Like, I don't know what it is, but like I feel like this is like the last system I'm going to be collecting for. Like, I really do feel that way. Like, I don't think I'm going to be buying. I don't even know if there will be discs for PS6 or whatever, like if they'll even be an option. So I'm trying to buy like a lot of like what I call retirement games, trying to get like a bunch of role-playing games and stuff that I can like sink my teeth into and play down the line. That's like my new goal right now. So I don't even intend to play a lot of these role-playing games right now. These are like, I'm literally going to play them when I retire and just sit there and fucking go through them all and play all the action games and stuff. Like when I'm younger, you know what I mean? And I need the speed and the agility and my, I don't have arthritis and stuff. I'll play shmups and I'll play fighting games and I'll play action games. But when I'm older, just sitting there and hitting the X button might be the way to go. Just thinking that might be something that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything you want to show off, KAG?
Yeah, I got a couple things. Let's see here. What will we show here? Let's see here. Oh, here. We were talking about these bozos a little earlier.
You got a nice camera.
Wow. And we were talking about these bozos a little earlier. You were saying First Press Games. So I got Rival Minigun.
Yep. It's a great game.
There. And I also picked up Ginga Force.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pick them up from the website or did you get them secondhand somewhere else?
I got them directly from them.
Okay.
And the last one I got was Natsuki Chronicles. Now, I already had this once before and I forgot I bought it. So I bought it twice. So now I got 2 copies of it. It took like almost 3 months for me to get this, and it came. So they're in the Netherlands.
That's like speed shipping for them, bro. That's like,
dude,
that's the fastest they've ever sent anything.
I don't know how they shipped this, but it came from the Netherlands, and then it came to it went through Honolulu customs in Honolulu, which I've never seen anything come through Honolulu, and it was sitting there for a long time. So it was just ridiculous. All right, so I picked up those, and I'm going to go through these pretty quick because I had quite a few of them. I also picked up Alone in the Dark on Xbox Series X.
Oh, nice.
Yet. Still sealed.
30 bucks?
Yeah, yep, $30, yep. This Sofa Star I picked up.
Yes, I love that one.
Can't wait to play that.
I had an extra copy of it, and I sent it to Elvis Rose so he could have it, man. But that game was fun.
Dude,
really
I'm playing
good.
it. Probably going to play it tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely play it, bro.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Wrath of Mutants.
Yep.
And then Fighting Herds on PS5. Got this for $2 on GameStop. Which is
website or just in store?
No, on the website. They had a super crazy sale.
Oh, let me check on that one.
$2.
Ghostblaze HD on PS4 which I got
Nice.
a Switch copy from you, Reggie. And
That's
The
right, huh?
Asian
part
copy. There's like a bunch of different versions of that one.
part 1 and 2 of this on PS5.
Nice.
Oh, yep.
The PS4 version of the first game is worth a ton of money.
And then both of these got one from Reggie, got the PS4 copy from Reggie. No, PS5 copy for Reggie and PS4 copy I got.
Real.
Can't wait to get into this game. Really looking forward to that. And then today, this came.
You can't. You know, I was disappointed with that,
Wow.
man, because I thought that the characters would be the DLC characters would be on the disc. Or maybe I'm wrong. Are they?
You know what? Let me find out. Let's open it right now.
Yeah, that's sick, dude.
Live
Like,
unboxing.
I still have not played that game, man. I've been waiting for like a complete edition for it, so I can really just enjoy it.
I think this is the complete edition. When I read up on it, it has all the DLC. Now I don't know how the DLC comes, but it has everything.
It'll probably come with a code, knowing because a lot of these guys are like they don't want to put in that work to make a new version of it with everything included.
Let's see here. Strive. And this has the book, the steel books in here, and then artwork. Okay, so let's open up the actual game. I'm hoping it doesn't have a code, because that will, because it has all 3 seasons, and it has like all the
Yeah, that was one of the nice things about Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. If you bought the PS4 version,
and it's a code.
It's a code, yeah. I figure. I mean, you are getting everything, but this is just code, so you gotta,
So all that means is if you're if you don't care about the season pass and you don't care about blah 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 blah, you just buy the regular version. All that.
Yeah, it comes with all 3 seasons on there, which that sucks. Because I read it, I did not know that. So
fighting games,
boo-boo.
Any fighting game you don't have access to the roster sucks, man.
Yeah, and they leave it on there where you can see those locked characters, and you think you're gonna unlock them by beating the game or something like that, but no, you gotta pay us, go to the store and pay money. It's just like, dude, what the heck?
I was playing Tekken 8, and they made Eddie Gordo a paid DLC character. Eddie freaking Gordo. I'm like, dude, why don't you make Jin DLC, you idiots? Why don't you make the main characters? Like, what are you doing?
Because Eddie's been on the main cast since Tekken 3, and he even had his own theme song in that game, if you guys remember.
And he's like one of the most iconic characters because he's like the button mashing king. Like if you didn't know what the hell you were doing, you'd just pick Eddie and
Eddie Gordo.
Just hit the 2 kick buttons over and over again and roll around like an idiot. You could win quite a bit just doing that. So
I also picked up this here. This is the Riff Master. They just came out with new guitars for the Xbox and PS5, mainly because there is a Fortnite guitar game. So these just came out. It has a thumbstick here at the top. It's pretty dope. Wireless guitars for that. I'm a huge Rock Band fan. So
yeah, I love Rock Band.
I love Rock Band. And I got a couple more things, like 2-3 things here.
I've always liked the Guitar Hero guitars better, though. Like they're shittier and they're more plasticky and play schooly, but like I'm used to them. So I always felt like the Rock Band one was like too clean. I'm like I want it to be crappier. Like I don't know.
And I bought the Breakers collection.
Nice
for PS5.
You saw them on Amazon on sale?
I actually got this from them. I didn't get this from Amazon. I got this one from Strictly Limited. It was on sale on Strictly Limited website because I bought this.
I should have did a video, man, because they have an Amazon store now, Strictly Limited, and they had all their stuff was on sale there at that store. So like you were getting like 2 days shipping free, and I picked up a lot of stuff on there. Yeah, man, it was. Yeah, I'm glad you got that. That's a good collection to have.
Oh, I meant to mention this too. I don't know if you guys are aware, but Special Reserve Games, they used to be partnered with Devolver and they kind of dissolved or whatever.
Yeah.
They've started an eBay store and they're basically clearing out all their old stock.
What?
Oh, really?
So like that, that Inscription game on Switch that's just going for ungodly amounts of money. It's like $150 to $300. They're selling new copies. They did the first round at like 75 and they sold out. And then they did the second round at like 80 and sold out. And I think they have a round up now for like 84. So still expensive. I mean, the game was like $30 when it came out or whatever. But if you want a copy of Inscription, $82.99 is a lot better than 150 or 300 or whatever. So if you guys care about that, you might want to check it out. It's on eBay. It's Special Reserve Games, and they have other games too. Like they have Cult of the Lamb and their other releases too. They're not gonna. I don't think they have like The Messenger or anything amazing. Like none of their like super old titles. Like no Shadow Warrior 2, unfortunately. But that's the one I really. That's one of those OCD games. Like I own Shadow Warrior 1 on the PS4 and Shadow Warrior 3 on the PS4, but Shadow Warrior 2 only came out through them, and it's insanely expensive. I'm like,
Yeah, that is Inscription for the PS5. They got it. You said it's $80 on there.
Who was? I think it was somebody on Twitter. Like either Wario 64 or Cheap Ass Gamer was linking to it. So if you go on Twitter, you can find it through there, like a direct link.
Oh no, I'm on their page right now. They got Broforce on there. I might pick that up.
Later, Joel.
Do they have anything like regular prices, like what they originally sold certain something for?
Yeah,
like maybe the Messenger for Switch, maybe they sell on that for a decent price.
Which one?
The Messenger.
Oh, I'm looking through there now. I don't see Messenger yet. But I'm trying to.
Those are the two.
I wonder why they went the eBay route. They could have did better if they went like I don't know, like I feel like Amazon route would have been better, but I don't know.
They have Shadow Warrior 3 for PS4 for 48. Their collector's edition. That's not bad.
I mean, are they still a functioning company though? Special Reserve?
No, they're done. Devolver is doing their own thing now. Okay. Yeah, they have their own. They have like their own. I don't know who's doing it now, but they have like.
I felt like Special Reserve was just kind of like tagging along in a way because I remember they were doing some stuff with Limited Run. I think it was that game called Crossing Souls.
Yep.
And I was like, what? Why isn't this on their website? Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, they did some like partnered releases, like Enter the Gungeon. They did a partnered release with Limited Run. So it was weird. They would do like their own release, and then they would do like a FOMO cover through Limited Run. They would have like a special.
The Messenger has a different cover. Well, yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, 2 different covers on that one. So maybe that was a special edition cover.
Yo, you got the PS4 one. I saw that one of your videos recently.
Right? Is that the one with the? Is that the rare cover one, or there's a blue cover and a yellow cover one?
I'll be happy with any cover. I just want that.
The one
with that game, yeah.
The one you have, Reggie, is the one you have is the more. That's the more expensive one. The one you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the last couple things I got is I got this for PS4. This is Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle Limited Box Edition.
Nice,
cool version.
Right I didn't know they had that.
Oh yeah.
So
like the regular release.
Was that on sale, KAG?
This is actually the Japanese version.
Okay.
Yeah, so this came from overseas. It was brand new when they sent it to me. I had to open it up to check that everything was in there. That one, and then I got this one here. This is that one.
Is that Central Fiction? No, that's
this Central Fiction. Yep.
Okay.
This is the limited edition.
Is that a fighting game as well?
Yes, very good fighting game.
The PS3 version of that game is so expensive because they had a really small print run. Oh man, but yeah, that's cool, dude.
And then this I got off of Woot.
Good old Woot.
I haven't played it yet, but it is. I haven't even opened it yet. I bought it just because I wanted the mask. The Payday 3.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Collector's edition. And the reason I bought it is because I wanted that mask that comes in here.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't opened it yet, but it's a mask you can actually wear.
Next show.
And then the last thing, for anybody that's watching, we just put these up and they're still available on Amazon. And they put them up because people were having such a hard time getting these. It's a third-party company that did them. and they're on Amazon for $50 right now. And these are the Spider-Man plates,
Oh, nice.
and they are identical. They're amazing. The only difference between these and the Sony ones is there's no PlayStation symbol up here.
Hmm.
And then the back one has the Spider-Man on there too. They're identical, literally. They're identical to the ones Sony did. The only difference is on the top is no PlayStation symbol right there. They're only $50. These are going for the Sony brand ones are going for like $200 to $300. So if you really want one, go to Amazon right now. You can get this for $50, and they have it for this model, and they have it for the slim model, which they never made it for the slim model. They made it just for the regular PS5, and you can get it for the slim model on there right now for $50. So if you want one, that's where you can get it from Amazon. While they last, because I'm quite sure once Sony sees that, they're gonna take them down.
Of course, they won't make their own, and they won't make more for everyone to purchase, but they will stop other people from selling them. That's definitely them. That's So like, man, I feel like every video game company right now is having a competition to see how like much they can abuse their own customers. I swear, it's just like, oh, that drives me crazy. Like, Spider-Man 2 should not have been a limited anything.
I agree.
Not Spider-Man, dude. Like, I if you want to have some cool limited edition something, all right. But this is another thing that just in general, like, the PlayStation 4 had so many awesome consoles, dude. Custom, like, special editions. The PS4 is amazing. How many cool editions they have. And the PS5, we've gotten nothing. We've just gotten a couple colored plates, the PS5 thing, and then the Spider-Man one, and that it sold out like immediately, and they didn't make any more. It just completely blows my mind. I don't understand the logic. I really don't. It's like, they're like, oh, our business isn't doing well. I'm like, well, maybe it's because you don't produce things that people want. Like, literally, you have something people want and you won't make it. It's just why.
There's for the PS3, there's a super rare PS3 that is really hard to get your hands on. It's the All-Star Game Edition. There's an All-Star Game Edition that they only gave to the NBA basketball players that played in the All-Star game. I saw one of them on eBay, and I was trying to get it, man. I was never able to get it, but super rare, dude. I want that so bad.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff like that on the show. People have had like special edition consoles that came in like a case and stuff like that. Yeah, there's some gosh, man. Go back through some of the episodes and check out some of the guests. There's people with the craziest stuff.
Oh yeah,
just wild. Oh, yeah. We've had a couple guests on that NBA Elite.
Yeah,
like NBA Elite. Yeah, man, it's a bucky game, but rare as hell.
Yeah, because they canceled it so fast, man. That was the last NBA Live game that EA did.
That's like the second game I heard of getting canceled when the retailer actually has it.
Yep.
Like the first game I remember got canceled was Siphon Filter 3 because the original cover had the American flag on it, and they thought because 9/11 had happened that would be insensitive or whatever like that, which is weird thinking. But yeah, they had that one recalled, and it's the rarest PS1 games out there if you can find it, which some people have it.
So before we do wrap up, we were getting into it. Wait, do you have any more stuff you want to show, KAG?
Oh no, that's it.
Do you guys want to talk about the Switch 2 a little bit just before? Because we kind of got into a little bit, but I just before we wrap it up, like what?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, did you want me to show my stuff too, or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you have stuff, I didn't know if you did.
Yeah, of course. I always bring a little something there.
Reggie always got the gifts.
I know, right? The camera's on me. Let's go. Local game store I started going to. Took on some trades. Got some good stuff. I would like to get this game complete in blocks, but I'll take it how it is right now. And that is Blade for the Game Boy Advance. Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
This is actually a good beat 'em up game for the system.
The
There's
game
only
that
like
started.
yeah, the game. Yeah, I know, right? And there's 3 Blade games. There's one on PS1 and one on PS2, and then there's this one. So 3 games. This is probably the funnest one when it comes to old school like games, I would say. I got Tetris as a portable device from
Oh, that's cool.
My Arcade, so it's kind of cool.
Mhm.
You know, if you want to play Tetris on the go, I guess it's more of a novelty because you can play Tetris on your phone or whatever like that. But it's still kind of cool. It's like a decoration.
Still the best handheld experience, like Game Boy 101.
Mhm.
There you go.
I've also got the Tetris Micro Arcade, so little
That's
micro
cool.
arcade you could play, put the batteries in, or you could charge it up. Or
Do
I
you
don't.
have so many of those? Oh my goodness.
I know, right? I actually downsized on a lot of them, but yeah, I still got quite a few of them. But you're gonna see some in this video. I have this one, which is a new one. This is oh yeah, make sure it's not Galaxian. Galaga
Oh,
as
that
the
looks
arcade, the
dope.
joystick.
Why you got a problem with
Yeah.
Galaxian, man?
Oh, what do you know? Galaxian is actually included on here, so it's both
All
of
right,
them.
okay.
I just don't like Galaxian, man. Galaga is so much more fun.
Yeah.
But another My Arcade. So
That's
what
a
ended
cool
up
little
happening?
arcade. I like the
I
I
know.
like the joystick. That's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah. Well, what ended up happening was they were supposed to send me some review stuff before Christmas. The market their sale or whatever like that, and they ended up not sending it on time. So I told them, well, hey guys, if you don't send the items because you guys need to make the deadline, they're like, why don't you want us to send it? And I said, because I have other videos I'm gonna do and everything like that, and I'll be behind schedule with your send your stuff. And they said, well, I think we already sent it. And this is a funny story. I probably shouldn't even say this, but whatever. Um, so they said that they sent it already, and then I looked because my UPS is like USPS is hooked up to like when people send me mail or whatever like that, so I'll know.
Mhm.
And then after we had that talk, all of a sudden my stuff is shipping out. I'm like, man, whatever, man. I was like, well, they said they already sent. They already sent it. I knew they didn't send it, but I tried to stop them from sending it. But
Mhm.
as soon as I showed no interest, then they want to send it. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, I might be doing a video on this stuff pretty soon here. Also
Mhm.
here, they sent this 200 Atari Arcade.
Oh, I
So-
want one of those. I've been
I-
eyeballing that.
Yeah, I've
This
been
was-
thinking about picking up one of those too. Just for the controllers.
Yeah, the
wireless
controllers alone.
batteries, that
I
looks freaking dope.
I was just hoping it had a disc. I mean, a cart tray so I could plug in my baby Pac-Man into it, but it didn't have one. So there's another one that does have it, but I'm content with this. I'll just put the ROM on here or something like that. So that's kind of cool.
That's pretty cheap right now. That unit too. I think it's on sale.
Mhm.
I was thinking about
next one
I'm
here.
debating that or the 2600 plus because I'm like, do I want to get carts? Do I feel like doing carts? So I don't know.
And next one we got Super Street Fighter from My Arcade.
Oh, now that's dope.
So you got
Yeah.
Street Fighter Championship Edition and you got Super Street Fighter on here. I'm actually glad they didn't add Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo because that game is hard. Like, man, it's insanely hard. But I guess what's kind of cool about these two is if you have 2 of these, you can hook them back to back and you can fight your friend or whatever like that. But
Oh,
you're
that's
playing on
cool.
micro
That's dope.
arcade sticks, but you can hook controllers up to it. Obviously, it takes batteries. So yeah, these are pretty cool.
Well, that's what I really liked about the Galaga one. You could actually play it. It's
Yeah.
got that
Yeah.
controller. It
It's
may
good to
not
have like
look
on your computer
numbers,
desk or
but-
something like that. I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, these are like more of like because you can only gonna play them for a few minutes or whatever like that. But it's nice to
Mhm.
just sit back and play something real quick. I'm more into the counter arcade games, which I think I've shown some of you guys before. But yeah, next item here, another dedicated Game Boy system, Game Boy Advance system, the Retron SQ, so dedicated
wow.
Game Boy player. So
That's dope.
plays Game Boy Color, Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance. So good to go with that.
Does it do does it give you like the Super Game Boy Color palette options and stuff like that? Do you know?
I think it does. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
cool.
Well, I'm not really sure actually, to be honest with you. I got to test it out, but I'll let you know. Or maybe somebody probably did a video about it or something. NES game, Ninja 1 and Ninja 2.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's a homebrew. So so you guys know, of course you know Sarmar or DJ made FX Yuki.
Mm-hmm.
His buddy made this game, and this game's been out for a while, and he sent me a copy of it. So I'm gonna probably put this in the video here pretty soon. It might be in tomorrow's video if I get time. But yeah, there's that one. I got. Ugh. I think I showed these before, but I'm not sure. I got Kurt Warner's Arena Football. It's like a kiddie version of Blitz for the PS1. A lot of people don't know about, but it's Midway. Midway was putting out like a lot of great arcade games back in the day. And the next game here is Midway as well. This is like the NBA Jam version of ice hockey, 2-on-2 open ice.
Yeah.
So that's another good one, exclusively on the PS1. What we got here? I got Evercade Pockets, Super Pockets.
Oh, I want those so bad, dude. I want
Oh,
the title
that Street Fighter
actually.
one, man. That's the one I would like to get.
So the
Yeah.
So the Capcom one, the other XP has like all the Capcom games on it. So I want them both because they look cool. But the title one, I just want it.
I pre-ordered the Tomb Raider one.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick that up too.
Yeah,
I was surprised about the that system. I mean, I thought the XP was good to go, but like I guess they wanted to remodel it, so that's kind of cool.
I feel
Yeah,
like they that agreement with Capcom, they probably just lost the licensure and didn't feel like paying for it or renewing it more.
Yeah, that makes sense and everything. We got the Commodore 64 Collection 3. Comes with a bundle of games on there for the Evercade. So Evercade is picking up steam, man. They keep up the work, and hopefully they get some more exclusives, man. You know, it'd be really impressive to look back at.
And I think they're going to do great. They got new hardware. They have those new carts, the gigabyte carts, so they can put some bigger games on it.
Yeah,
I think the future is bright for them, especially if they keep doing like weird, obscure arcade stuff. Like I think that's their bread and butter.
I pre-ordered the Evercade XPR handheld, the EXP-R handheld that comes with Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3, and their system, and the system that's coming out.
The Versus, yeah.
The Versus R, yeah. I pre-ordered both of them, man. So I'm digging my hands a little bit into Evercade, man.
Well, it's kind of funny that system. Like they have you can unlock games on the system itself, and not only that, they have like a game they let you play for the month, like game of the month that'll like upload to the system that you can try out. Like I was trying out the Genesis homebrew game. I forgot what it was called, but yeah, I was having fun. I was like, yeah, this game is cool, and yeah. Next game here, Indie Heroes 3, which includes Dodo Donut on the cover. That Donkey Kong, Popeye.
Oh, that's the one.
Ish game.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, it's on here.
Okay.
So it got 2 physical releases. It got one on the Evercade and one on the Switch, which is kind of cool. But obviously, it has a bunch of other games on here. We got Thunderpaw, Alien Cat 2, Bone Marrow, Big the Small, Skate Cat, all kind of Choo Choo Mimic, all kind of weird. Yeah, I know, right? All kind of weird stuff on here. That's why it's called Indie Heroes. So pretty funny.
Donut Dodo alone is worth picking that up, though. Like literally,
it's only $20
cheaper than the Switch. Yeah, it's cheaper than the Switch version, and you're getting all those games for free. You know?
Yeah, these games, like the highest they ever been is like $25, but they usually come out to like $20 total or $15 at a sale or whatever like that. So
VGP, wicked cheap. They're like 18 Canadian.
Yeah, this one's cool right here. The Sunsoft Collection Part 2.
Oh,
this includes, because this includes Blasting Master. I forgot what the title is. Blasting Master Enemy Below, which is a Blasting Master similar to the NES version, but it has its own story to it. I think it's a better game, but a lot of people don't even know that game exists. So that's kind of cool on here. Euphoria is on here, which the game wasn't released in America. We got Acrobat, the Acrobat 2. Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel, Galaxy Fight, which I hate that game, and a couple other games on here. But yeah, man, I mean these collections are on point, and then $20, and
that's expensive for that Zero Kamikaze Squirrel. That's expensive on Genesis.
That's the rare version of it, I believe. And then we have the Pico collection, which this is the one I always think is going to be bad because Pico. They sign anything to be on their games, but we got Target Renegade, Bash Street Brawler, which another game you can use with the Power Glove. Glover's on here. You see Glover on the cover. I don't know how they thought that was going to be a cool mascot.
Zero Tolerance is on there too, all right? That's pretty good.
Yeah, Zero Tolerance is on here. I didn't like the game at first, but as I started playing it a little bit more, I was like, yeah, this game was not bad. I also got one of my favorite movies, more of as a novelty, on Laserdisc. This is The Secret in Nim.
Oh
I
yeah,
got this at
it's
my
a
local.
great movie.
Yeah, I got it at my local game store, man. I was like, dude, like this is insane. So he hooked it up for like I think it was like $10 or something like that. So
And it
cool.
has to do one of my All Dogs Go to Heaven. That's a fantastic movie too.
Yeah, Don Bluth, man, he has some good animations
Mhm.
for his stuff. And then here is Lunar the Silver Star Story for PS1.
Oh,
Ooh,
there we go.
that's money.
Yeah,
that's
this
like
is
that's like a car note.
I know, right? That is a double because I was collecting variants for it, so I had an opportunity to get one, and I picked that one up. And then we have also with Lunar Eternal Blue, another
Oh, wow,
variant.
nice.
So you only need two. You only need two variants with this one, but the variants for Lunar the Silver Star is like 5 or 6. So not
Lunar
saying I'll
2
collect
is-
them all, but
That game is so good, dude. At least for me,
Mhm.
back in the day, like, again, it's hard to explain to people, but I'm like the cutscenes in the anime were so good back then too. Like,
Yeah.
just amazing.
You know, something I picked up that I didn't even mention and let you know about. You'd be proud of me for picking this up.
What's up? I'm sorry.
Panoramic cotton.
Oh, nice, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, on Genesis.
You already got your Genesis copy. You don't have to get the yes. Perfect, dude.
Yeah. So I
That
knew
game is
you'd be
pushing the
happy to
system.
see me. Yeah, I knew you'd be happy to see that.
Yeah, that's one of the games that actually pushes the Genesis, pushes the hardware, man. Like, man, no doubt about it. That game is good. Yeah. I gotta pick up that Rainbow Cotton they have coming out here. It's already out actually. Damn.
Oh, they got Rain on Genesis?
No,
No,
it came out on Dreamcast, but they're releasing it on PS4 and PS5 and a couple other systems. But the physical, I'm not sure is out yet. But the digital is out.
Yeah,
for Rainbow Cotton.
I got the digital on Xbox. I beat it already. That was a fun
Yeah,
game.
they added 2-player to it. The Dreamcast version had 2-player to it, so they added 2-player. And remember, John got it early, so we did an early review on it. So I was like, man.
Pretty sure I ordered.
That's
that
hilarious.
Strictly limited, so.
Yeah, it's the last Cotton game I need kind of to complete the collection because unless
And
they
I
make
have
a new
all
one.
of the strictly limited ones too, so I don't want to get no Japanese copy or something. I want that one. But I have all
Yeah.
strictly limited ones. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep. Yeah, I got
And that's it.
I got a couple games from Strictly Limited. Recently I got Ultra Core. I got the Panera Cotton and then Darius Extra version. This here. These are all the ones I got from Strictly Limited just recently.
that's
Right
cool.
on.
Yeah, so I'm a crazy Genesis collector, man. Genesis is like my system, man. I love Genesis. Sega, I was a Sega kid though.
Me too.
Know, so you know,
I really do feel like there's a correlation between people who are Sega kids and people who are like more into PlayStation and Xbox than Nintendo. Like, it's just natural. Like, Nintendo people just stayed Nintendo people.
Yeah,
they never changed. They started out that way and they're still that way. And it's like, I don't know. I just feel like it's very common in the community that I talk to people that they were Sega households. I was a Sega household. Yeah.
Sega was, man. I remember getting my Sega Genesis from. It wasn't KB Toy Store. My mother bought my Sega Genesis from Hills Department Store. I don't know if you remember Hills. Hills. No, you gotta look it up, man. Hills Department Store. They were around when Kmart was around, but they were awesome, man. And when you would go into their electronics department, they trapped you in the department. It was like the little metal detector you walk through, like right by the register, but it was only one way in, one way out. And next to the register was like this long glass cabinet. And then they had where you could play the Genesis. And that's where I got my first Game Gear for the Sega Genesis too, man. Just fond memories of that system. Love the Genesis, man.
So they went out of business in 1999. Wow.
Yep. They were around for a long time, man. That store was amazing. And my mom would go in there and they had one of the first stores that had like a little food court, and she would, say, "Hey, here's the money, your allowance or whatever. Get what you want, and meet me back at the food court. I'll be sitting here." And she'd be sitting there eating popcorn and a hot dog, and we could run straight to the electronics department, man, and get what we wanted right from there, man. I love that store. Oh, just the memories, man. And they had the was it the 32X? Yeah, they had a 32X on clearance at Heels for $25, dude. $25. Like they built these little in the middle of the floor, like this little pyramid of like 32Xs when I was a kid, younger, and $25, man. Like I remember when that system went on clearance. That's crazy. Just imagine if I bought a lot of them then.
My 32X barely functioned when I was a kid. Everyone I knew that owned one, it didn't work. Like half the games didn't work. Like I don't know.
You need to
like,
make sure that dongle was attached.
My Corpse Killer never worked. I had several games for the 32X that just did not function correctly at all. Just would not play. I think like the only games that worked correctly were like Sonic and Knuckles and Doom and Star Wars. I think those are the 3 games I own that actually function correctly on my 32X.
I saw somebody, what they say was one in Kentucky or something. Something popped up on the
Country Boy said that. Yeah, they had one of the stores in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Like it was a great story, man. Just like the memories of when we were a kid, man. Things were just so much easier. Like it's so crazy. Like I was talking to what is his name? Is it another YouTuber? I can't remember his name at the moment right now. But I was telling him the story of how not a lot of people had a Neo Geo when they were a kid. And I was telling
nobody
him
I knew had
how I ended up getting one. So here in Cleveland, there was a store called Glengate Video, as a rental store where you can rent one. That's how I played the Neo Geo the first time. Was at home was my mom actually rented one for us from that store as a movie rental store or whatnot, local mom and pops. And after I played it, I had kind of made up my mind that I really had to have one. So my first experience of Neo Geo wasn't in the arcade. It was actually renting one was how I actually got to check it out. But after that, I ended up getting one by shoveling driveways. I shoveled driveways, and on my paper route, I had a paper route, and I'm quite sure all of us probably had a paper route back then, delivering papers. And I asked every single one of the people that delivered papers if I could shovel their driveway. And they was like, sure, you can shovel their driveway. So I end up doing everybody on my paper route, and I only charged $10 per driveway. And most people gave me more tips. And I remember this old lady, she used to give me like old like candy and stuff. She would give me this old this candy. She would give me this candy. It was so gross, and come to find out, it had liquor in it. It was like liqueur. It was like an old people's candy or whatever. And my mom was like, you can't have that. So my mom would take it from me or whatever. And then so I ended up getting enough money to get it. And then my mom took me to Software Etc. Software Etc. is actually where I got my Neo Geo from. And it just changed everything. And in my neighborhood, nobody cared about the Neo Geo because they didn't know. Like I am an urban kid, you know what I'm saying? So my friends, they were still like Madden on Genesis and all that type of stuff. They cared about. I didn't care about Neo Geo. So it wasn't like a big thing. But then as I got older, found out that like having a Neo Geo as a kid when it came out was like this amazing obscure thing. But the people I grew up with, we're urban black kids, you know what I'm saying? They didn't care. They literally was like, if you ain't got Madden or Punch Out on NES or stuff that was popular at that time, they just didn't care about it, you know what I'm saying? But it was just crazy, the different communities, like when you live in different areas, how certain systems are more loved or beloved than others.
We were a 3DO neighborhood. No, I'm just
kidding. Dude. and my neighbor and the people that I grew up with, it was back in the day, it was Genesis, and Madden, and then some people did Super Nintendo, right? But then they kind of went from that to they were playing TurboGrafx 16 was huge in my neighborhood. Like it was like several kids that had TurboGrafx 16.
Lucky.
And what's the one game where you turn into a robot and you go up in a rainbow? I can never remember the name of that game. Side scrolling on a TurboGrafx 16, and then when you would teleport, it was like looked like a rainbow or something. It's like one of the first games that came out on the system.
TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah, TurboGrafx 16.
Poppin' Twin B.
No, it's like a super popular game, but it came out when it came out originally. No, not Bonks. No,
Arizona. Okay.
If you said the name, I would
Robot that goes
remember
into a
it.
rainbow. Yeah, no
Yeah,
idea.
like hold up. Let me look it up. And
You
you're
got me
gonna be like,
thinking about
oh
it.
yeah.
Falcon. I don't know.
No, definitely not that one.
I know lots of robots, but the rainbow parts throw me off. I don't know. Dude, I remember when I was a kid, there was only one person who had a TurboGrafx 16, and like
At Keith
I remember
Courage.
I went
Keith Courage.
Keith Courage. Okay.
Keith Courage. Wow, that's the game that comes with it too.
Yeah, Keith Courage. I mean, people loved that game, and that was like super huge when I was a kid or whatnot. And the chat probably said it, but I don't have my chat up right now. But yeah, TurboGrafx was the thing, and Neo Geo was just like never even thought of, never even thought of, not in my area until I actually played it. And I played Nam, and I played, what was the other game? I want to say World Magician. I didn't play Magician Lord, but I played World Heroes. It was World Heroes, the original World Heroes. And those were the two games I really fell in love with. And then once I ended up buying my system, I found out that I could take my memory card and my saves to the arcade. Yeah. And then I was like, I could play at the arcade and then take it back home and leave off where I left off. And I didn't find that out until I actually got a system and a memory card. Because you wouldn't know if you went to the arcade, if you didn't have a system, you wouldn't know anything about it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that system was crazy, man. And I love it still to this day. As you see, all the Neo Geo and now MVS, all these white boxes over here are all MVS games because I've gotten into MVS.
So we almost found you a rare one, but the price is too high.
I really want that Twinkle Star Sprites, and you know what, Reggie, the price is not too high. It's just what we're going out of town and all this other stuff is going on.
The vacation thing, I get you.
$1,700 for that game is a great price. And I'm not holding it against him at all. It's a great price because that game is. It only came. I thought
it was only 1,000.
No, he was actually $1,700 for that game. I have to look at the chat again. I'm almost positive like $1,700 for that one. If it was 1,000, I'd have bought it. Because Twinkle Star Sprites only came out on the MVS. It never made its way to the AES. There are converts. People have converted it from MVS to AES, but the community doesn't like that because you're sacrificing an MVS cart to you convert it over.
We should do a Neo Geo episode soon. We should get that guy Neo Nest to come on here.
Oh, Neo Net, that's my dude. Like we chat all the time.
Yeah,
you got to get Ness on here.
Yeah, he's been on that before with Steve.
Okay,
it'd be fun to have you guys on together. Reggie too, like you guys. I'm like a noob when it comes to this stuff, so I would need you guys for that episode.
Listen,
I'd be like, I like Samurai Showdown.
If you get Neo Ness on here, I would love to also come on. Please get me to come on, and I'll reach out to him, talk to him, and see if he'll come on. But that dude is such a wealth of knowledge when it comes to Neo Geo. Like that's the dude. Like that literally is the dude, man. And
it'd be fun.
I like when he does his videos and he plays Tiberius. He's just so funny, man. But yeah, you got to have him on there. He's going for the full American set of Neo Geo games, and he only has the very, very expensive ones to get, like Neo.
So he's not got Metal Slug then.
He doesn't have Metal Slug. He doesn't have Neo Turf Masters. Neo Turf Masters, Metal Slug are the two for sure I know he needs, and I told him I would look out for him to see if I could get him a US copy of Metal Slug. But that's like to get a US copy of it, that's like $25,000 to $30,000 for that. And then Neo Turf Masters is pretty high also. And I think the other one is that that horse racing game.
Okay.
Stakes or whatever. So I think those are the ones he needs. But I'm hoping he completes it, man. I really want to be there for when he completes it, because that's an epic feat to get a full American collection. Because I have for Neo Geo for AES, I have the Metal Slug. I have the Japanese version of Metal Slug. So I went the Japanese route. I like the way the Japanese games look better anyways. But just for that American spine and American lettering and everything, that game is worth that much money. So it's just like crazy.
Yeah, Neo Geo, man. Like even years ago, they were still hard to get, right? Like just like hard to collect on the system because everything seems the same. I remember,
and
Samurai
it
Showdown
came out expensive and it stayed expensive.
5 Special was another hard one to get. I remember John Hancock was telling me.
This is the Japanese version of Neo Turf Masters. In Japan, it was called Big Tournament Golf. But when I put this in my Neo Geo, because I have, mine's in US, but I do have the Unibios, it is Neo Turf Masters instead of saying this. Now, if I change the Japanese, it'll say this. But this is the same exact game. It's just this is a Japanese version of that game.
Right.
That's so cool. Well, we'll definitely have to get into it when we're playing it. But for this episode, we're about the 2.5 hour mark, so I think we should probably wrap it
up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been awesome having you on, KAG, Reggie, as always.
Man, thank you.
Really good show. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, we'll definitely plan this again. And thanks for showing off, talking about the Polymega. That was really cool. Hope you guys thought that was interesting. If you have any questions for either me or for KAG or anything, guys, definitely leave them in the comment sections. Also in the description, I put KAG's links to his Instagram, his X, and his YouTube. If you want to go give him a follow, he does do his own YouTube stuff. He does great content on there, posts some pickups and stuff. It's really awesome stuff. Definitely check him out. He streams with Joel with Media Glitch every once in a while too. If you want to subscribe to Media Glitch, you'll see him on there as well. Same thing with Reggie. All his links are down there. You guys are all there with the stuff. And then mine are down there too if you want to sub to me on Twitch or X or YouTube or anything. So yeah, thanks for watching the show, guys. Hope everybody has a great night, and we'll see you guys later. Later, everybody.
You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting sticks, and come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather around the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh at me, gonna live the dream. Gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing the song to the break of dawn. Gonna run this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance.